Now, how do I bring up my camera? Come on. How do I do it?
No, you can't because you didn't upgrade your Skype.
Yeah, I got upgrade. Fucking shit.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. Where's your
Upgrade your
iPad?
Skype, man.
Wait, listen. Where's your iPad,
Get
babe?
on the ball.
Where's your iPad? Do you have Listen, I'll get on your iPad. I'll get on your iPad. One sec. You guys
Alright.
carry on. Sorry, I'll get set up. Hang on.
Okay.
Are we on yet?
Yeah, we are already live.
What's up,
Oh.
people?
Hold on, Suman, are you going to bring up your webcam?
Man, if I get out of this right now and I try and upgrade, I don't know how long it's gonna take.
No. You don't have to upgrade.
How do I
Get
do
with
it?
us.
How do I do it?
You just on your webcam.
Okay.
I used to have. How do I get my web? How do I turn my webcam on?
Okay, I'm not going to do a technical step-by-step instruction over Skype, guys.
You should. Oh, it says upgrade for free to Windows 8.0 to get
Okay.
video messaging and more Skype features.
All right, never mind that. How about you, Frank? What do you get?
What do you mean? What do I get? I got a headache. So I can't. Hang on, man. Listen, man. You can't upload, upgrade. Jesus, dude. You can't. What the hell's up with you, man? You're early.
Listen.
Whoa. Man, it's not a good night.
No one ever said I'm smart. No one ever said I'm smart. Listen, I've been put on this planet to do one thing and one thing only, and that's annoy people. No, you think it's the fight? Fighting's like my bitch on the side. You know what I mean? Fighting's what I do for fun. You know what I'm telling you, I'm put on this planet to piss people off. You know, because it seems like nobody likes me.
You guys.
Everyone's. Hey, can someone answer me something? All right. Now, Rebel FC.
Okay.
Because I'm kind of confused.
All right.
Who's that? Remember how they had the 8 people named, right?
Yep.
And then they had a TBA.
Yep.
Wasn't it Hansen that was named?
No,
It wasn't.
it wasn't.
See, someone said to me it was Hansen that was named. Now today they had some Asian dude.
Yeah, it's an Asian dude with a 12-2 record.
Who is he?
I'm not too sure. I haven't seen him fight yet, but sooner or later I will get to know this guy.
Does he want to fight me? I'm gonna fuck.
Oh, Frank is
Listen,
out.
you know what? I'm not gonna make this show about me.
Uh-huh.
I'm not gonna make this show anything. Okay, I'll make it about me later. But when we get onto it, you know who I want to talk about.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Oh,
we know.
man.
It's gonna happen.
All right.
That title's going around his waist. You know it.
Okay, hold on. I'll try to get Frank on again. Oh man. Okay, Frank. We still can't get you on video cam, but it's okay. Maybe we can try that next week. You okay with that?
Yeah, hang on, man. You sure? Because
Yeah, I'm okay. Unless you wanna be on, so I'm
He just
okay.
wants to see your face.
It was up just
it
before.
was up just before. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on here, dude.
All right, never mind. It's okay. Maybe when we are free, we get this thing done. But right now, let's carry on with the show because people who are tuning in have had too much random discussions from us. Okay, so let's straight away get on. I want to start off with this. This is the most hilarious thing ever. I don't know whether Frank can see. Suman, can you see my desktop?
Huh?
Can you see my desktop?
No, I can't.
You can't. But okay, you guys can hear this.
You know, I got a recurring dream too. I'm choking Vinny MalgaHAESSSSS,
I can't hear anything.
and he's got a staph infection. And it turns into AIDS. HIV
Is this a
AIDS.
trick?
Can you guys hear anything?
No.
Keep
No.
going, man.
Silence.
Are you
Aw,
prepared?
That's bad. Okay, hold on. I'll try this again.
To walk away from a guy like Vinny MalgaHAESSSSS.
No?
Vinny
Nope.
MalgaHAESSSSS.
Okay, never mind. It's okay. But the guys watching can hear this. It's Vinny MalgaHAESSSSS. Suman, did you watch that video? Come on.
What,
Are
the
you
Renato Laranja one?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
Oh man, that
I
was.
only got to watch a snippet of it, though.
oh, what?
Yeah, I haven't had time, man. I've actually been doing, like, productive things this week, believe it or not. Hey, I quit smoking.
Oh, congrats. I haven't.
Huh? Depends
Not
what
me.
you're talking about.
But that shit was gold, man. Vinny MalgaHAESSSSS.
Oh, how good. Come on, let's talk about it. First of all, when you saw Renato Laranja's face, did you not want to just... Man, I nearly died laughing. I lost my breath, seriously. How funny was he? His... Oh, my God, he looked like De Niro. He's got that... and the wrinkles. The wrinkles on his forehead and the lip smacking and the confused, distorted look on his face.
And Kenny Florian was just such a spot, man, for that Al Pacino
Mate,
role.
I gotta tell you, I was shocked. I was shocked how good he was. He was so good. Oh my God, he was.
Man, I'm a fan of Ken Flo. I like watching Kenny on, even in the UFC. He's cool, man. I like him. He's funny. He's funnier than people. He's funnier than people think.
No, but that Vinny MalgaHAESSSSS thing, I just.
Michael has. A bit like that. Michael has.
Oh man, that's just.
I loved it. When Renato drops that line, I'm having recurring bad dreams of Vinny MalgaHAESSSSS with staph infection. Oh my God. Oh my God, dude. I nearly died. I swear to God. I was like on the stretcher at that point. Then when he hit me with that, I was like, oh my God, that's it. No more. Oh man, he was so funny. Anyway, I don't know, man. I mean, I know Renato very, very, very closely. We've been good friends for a long, long, long time, and man, he's so funny. He's so funny. Oh man, yeah, it was cool. It was really cool.
Oh man, then the pickup lines with Dean Lister and so on. Oh my God. Are you a chicken farmer? There was this line. Suman, if you missed it, this is the line
Actually,
that I
missed
love
this
it.
part. That's why I feel like that kid that was left out of school.
Yeah. Okay. Never mind.
Suman, seriously, dude. When you have one of those days, right, Suman? You know when nothing gets right, you're stubbing your toe on every freaking thing on the ground. Let me tell you, just put that on the first 3 minutes and just, mate, you're gonna get the best ab workout ever. Seriously.
How long does it go for?
It's a fucking
that's
long
for-
thing. Half an hour, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
see, my attention span doesn't go for that long. Like, I see like Stuart Cooper films,
Uh-huh.
right? And like I see them get put up. Right? I love watching Stuart Cooper films, right? So
Yeah.
I'll go onto YouTube and then I'll click onto the video and then I'll be like, awesome, 4 minutes, mad, right? So I'll watch it. And then there'll be one that like I see it says 28 minutes and I'm like, oh, all right. Yeah, and I just kind of like, I'm like, oh, I think I'll watch the next video.
Okay.
As much as I love his videos, like 10 minutes is the longest. Like, and I'm telling you, like that's pretty much all I watch on YouTube. I watch Stuart Cooper's films, So then I'm like, 10 minutes is my limit, or as long as I can sit on the toilet.
Okay, just to try to get you to watch the show, the gold pickup line, the gold GOLD pickup line that Renato used, he just went out on the streets with Dean Lister and he just went up to one girl and asked the girl, "Are you a chicken farmer?"
Yeah.
because I think you can raise my cob.
Wait, he actually went up to someone and said that.
Yes.
Oh my God.
You know what would have been funny if someone actually realized who Dean Lister was, and then they went and put it like a sex complaint against him, and it would have made like news straight away.
Oh man.
Sexual harassment straight away.
That was awesome one. Yeah, but the girls love it. I think they heard it for the first time. I heard that pickup line for the first time, and it was corny as shit, but it's fucking hilarious. So, anyways, let's move on to more serious stuff.
Alright.
Frank, are you blazed?
Oh, come on, dude.
No, the reason I'm asking you is because your 10 Planet colleague, Joe Rogan, was actually testified for marijuana.
Yes. No, actually, yeah, it was. That's true. He had a couple of brownies the night before the test, and he admitted it as well. And well, you know the story. Do you know the story?
I don't know the
Wait,
story,
is
man.
it a troll or is it legit?
No, man, it was legit as legit can be. Come on, man.
What?
It's legit. Yeah, the
I
UFC.
thought, I'm dead set serious. I thought it was a troll.
No, 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 no. Well, as far as look, maybe I'm an idiot. I don't know, but it's pretty legit. It's pretty legit. But look, as far as I know, it is. Well, basically, the UFC, you know, they randomly test their employees, you know, like normal, right? But
Yep.
come on, dude. Seriously, it's this new guy, right, on the team. Apparently, I think he was a new guy or whatever. Tested Joe, and he put it in. And, you know, they basically, you know, he was. Basically what fired, not fired, but he was like he was suspended apparently, or stood down from the UFC apparently over this. And then obviously Dana White, you know, fired the dude and reinstated him immediately. And this is how ridiculous. That's the most preposterous thing ever, you know. So they were, you know, yeah, he was randomly drug tested, but you know,
You
but,
don't
he had a-
randomly drug test Joe Rogan. You know what the test is gonna come up and say.
Exactly. Come on, man. Just like you for nicotine. Come on. What do you think it's gonna be, right?
Test me for some stupid shit, and you'll see it in the system. It's like, oh yeah, what do you want? I'm a steroid user. Watch everyone say like, oh my god, you use steroids.
Oh god. How ridiculous.
I don't know. Like I think it's ridiculous that like I make jokes and everything like that, but I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do anything. Right? I'm a pussy.
Yeah, what cheap.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm a pussy. I don't do none of that stuff, you know. But to test Joe Rogan is just ridiculous. Like
I know.
he is like not the face of the UFC, but he is a big face of the UFC. And you know why he is like that? Because so many stoners love him.
Yeah.
Stoners around the world are like, hey man, have you heard like Joe Rogan jumped on that DMT stuff? Oh my, and they love him. They're like, I'm gonna watch the UFC because the guy that announces all of it and talks crazy about it is on drugs. I swear. Like I've heard some people say like, oh, Joe Rogan's the coolest guy. They know nothing about the UFC or MMA.
No, but
They're like, but they watch the UFC because Joe Rogan's cool.
but the question is, why would testing a commentator be relevant?
Exactly. Like that's what I was getting to. Like, what goes through someone's mind to even want to test it?
Fuck, I think Mike Goldberg is on that shit as well.
Mike Goldberg, he's on a whole different thing. He's on some good shit that he's on giving no one. He's on the same stuff as that fucking that referee. What was it, Josh Rosenthal?
Yeah.
He's on that stuff. Like, more.
Come on, man. Seriously, people might even believe what you're saying. Seriously, just tell them you're kidding. Far out.
About what?
Anyway, what do you want to ask me?
No,
Something
no,
serious?
he's alright.
Don't go watch Game of Thrones. Come on, man.
All right, man. So what else with Joe Rogan? So what happened? He got tested. Shit came out of the news. So what? UFC sacked him or something for a while?
Apparently, he was suspended. Apparently, and then you know, pending in some further investigation or some fucking twat freaking reported that came out. But Dana White fired the dude that tested him and reinstated him.
Let me tell you something. One of my dream jobs is to work for the UFC. Like, just be somewhere in there. Like, I think Joe Silva has the coolest job in the world. Now, imagine Joe Silva one day turn around and go, you know what? I'm gonna instate to test Joe Rogan, and he got fired. Imagine how much he'd be kicking himself. You idiot. You know, you don't just come into the UFC and decide to change everything.
Right.
You
Some
just
people
you let things go how they are. Power trip.
Yeah.
All right, enough of Joe Rogan, man. Moving on. Let's give Suman some take in it. Star Wars, Suman. What's up with Star Wars?
Star Wars. May the 4th be with you. Yeah, Star Wars is a show at Bonnie Rig in Sydney. I got a call today, and they needed a replacement for Australian title fight. So I'll be fighting on the 30th of May. Don't know anything about my opponent. I didn't even ask. They said, do you want to fight for an Australian title? I was like, yep, sweet. Put up a poster, and I was like, hey, they already put my name on the poster within like half an hour. And they've got my photo on it and shit. And I'm like, okay, cool. But because I had some of my young guys already fighting on the show, and then they put out the poster today. And then as soon as I saw the poster, I messaged the promoter, and I'm like, hey, so am I actually fighting? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, all right, cool, thank you. And that's it. So I'm fighting for the Australian title on the 30th of May. So I got like 25 days to prepare. Hopefully that will help.
And it's on Star Wars.
Yeah. The name of the show is Star Wars. Oh, it's Star Wars 4, run by Jazz Promotions. It's a pretty cool show. Got some pretty big cool names in Australia. We got Jason the Mauler Sherry, who's a world champion in Muay Thai. He fights on the show. We've got Shadi Shabib, an old training partner of mine, fighting for a title. We've got Muhammad Alavi from my gym fighting in the main event for the K1 title. K1 New South Wales title, or I think it's the Australian title. But he's fighting it's a rematch against a guy named Costa, who's the previous title holder. So they're fighting for the title. I've got James Jumanji Najim, who's fighting at 57 kilos. At flyweight, he's fighting. And I got Trent, Mr. Sanchai Kick, Gerdo fighting as well, but I think he's having a boxing match. So we got a bit of Australian top team talent on that night. Like the next couple of weeks, we're chock-a-blocks, you know. We just had 2 guys on brace on the weekend. We got 3 guys fighting this weekend at a show, New Generation 9. And then the week after, we got brace in Canberra, where we got 3 guys on again. Then we got a break for a week, and then the next week again, we got like 5 guys, including myself, fighting.
Okay, I've seen the card, I've seen the poster, but I just want to ask Frank, if you were to overheard someone says, hey, there's an MMA or combat show named Star Wars, how do you take that seriously?
I don't know. I don't know. What goes through my head? When you said it originally, I was like, can they say that? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, in my mind, Star Wars is such an epic force of its own. I'm like, I don't know. Can you name something else? Star Wars? I mean, really?
I think that's what they're going for, eh?
I don't know, but it's pretty epic. I mean, Jesus, hey, Suman, why don't you like to wear masks, don't you? Why don't you run out in the stormtrooper outfit?
Yes!
Come on, dude.
Yes,
Come on, run out in the stormtrooper outfit.
Mate, I'm
And
coming out.
listen, on the front chest plate, have a big, dirty-ass 10th Planet Melbourne logo stuck on there, like Darth Vader stabbed you with his
I'll do
freaking...
it.
Do it, mate. I'll burn a hole in the
If
thing.
you
Looks like
send
a...
it to me, I'll do it.
Mate, if you do that, I swear to God, mate, that'll be awesome. Oh, I love you, man. I would love you forever, dude.
Awesome.
Love you forever, dude, for sure. For sure. But you got to go out as a stormtrooper, bro.
No, I know exactly where to get a stormtrooper's helmet from.
Oh, I can't believe it. Yes, we got to make this work. Don't worry. I'm gonna stick a big dirty ass sticker. I've got some stickers, man. I got some stickers, right? And they're big, and I'll send one to you. And you got to try and get it nice and flush on the front of that stormtrooper outfit, man. Oh man, I'll be wrapped.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
I'd love it.
And we were we were
That's a $1 bill, you know, like a diamond $1 bill on the front of it or something, you know. You got to go pimp, and you got to dance. Like you got to dance.
yeah,
Right?
you got
I'm not much of a dancer.
you got to dance, man.
I might pull a bit of a Melbourne shuffle.
At the
Yeah,
back.
you do. I'll get my Obi-Wan Kenobi outfit, and I'll walk in front of you, right? I'll put my head down like Master Splinter, and you just be behind me going bananas. And people think, like, it's gonna be awesome, dude. Oh, you know what? You be the stormtrooper, and then what you do is we make this like a fake huge joint instead of a lightsaber, right?
Fuck.
Yeah, we do. We write 10th Planet on it, right?
Alright. Oh, this is turning into a stoner show. I just want to add on.
Hey, listen, man. You brought up Joe Rogan getting busted for marijuana. What the hell did you think was gonna happen? Come on, man.
Nah, I just want to add, Suman, for those who didn't listen to the conversation we had, I was thinking
Trying
that
to be serious.
yeah, we had before we went on to the show. I was thinking, Suman, why not you came out with all that outfit and behind your back emblazoned with a sentence with fiery fonts saying, "I come early."
I come early.
No, I arrive early.
I-
So you're referring to what my girlfriend tells me every night, right?
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, she just
Okay.
trust me. Hey, there's two
Yes.
things my girlfriend seems to say to me a lot. It's like, why do you keep arriving or coming early? Or if it's not that, it's isn't he cute? You know? Hey, I don't know if anyone else. I was speaking to my kickboxing trainer about this today. The heartbreaking moment when your girlfriend looks at your penis and says how cute it is. Listen, I'm telling you, there is nothing more.
Dude.
There's no, I'm not gonna say heartbreaking or anything. There is no more reason you would want to elbow your girlfriend in the face than when she says that. I'm like, it ain't cute. It's a fucking beast. What are you talking about? You know?
It's a grommet.
Like, it's a rocket. It's a rocket.
bulldozer.
You know? But nah, and then she kind of giggles and then she's like,
It's a
"What are you
force.
saying?"
It's a force.
Yeah, and then she goes, it looks better when it's big. I'm like, okay, see.
Jesus Christ, we're all guys. Like, really? Are you enjoying this conversation? Oh, man.
Singapore's loving it.
Mate, I think you've caused about 17 car crashes in Singapore right now.
I'm telling you, hey, Singaporean girls are right now thinking to themselves, hey, this isn't gonna hurt.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
So if any Singaporean ladies in the MMA listening to this, what's doing? What's going on?
Yeah,
If you like something cute, what's cracking?
inside of Singapore.
Okay, I have to stop this before we turn into a soft porn show. But
Oh, isn't that what we were talking about?
Jesus Christ, how do we go from joints to Suman's penis? His cute penis. Make
Hey,
it jump! Make
hey.
it jump! Make it jump!
They're both smokable, that's why. Get it?
Suman, I'm telling you, 5 to 10 years down the road, and you come back to the Fight Scene YouTube page and you listen to this, you might regret it, bro.
Hey, I'm not gonna regret it, but you know what's gonna happen? One day I'm gonna make it somewhere and I'm gonna get kicked out for talking about my own penis.
Oh man. Oh,
They're gonna pull this shit up when you're in jail or something. Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Serious stuff. Okay, really serious stuff. Frank,
Oh no.
you did your electric chair breakdown the other day.
Yes. Yes.
All right, and I edited it, and it was so cool. It's just 4 views shy of 1,000 views now.
Wow.
Yep. And I checked the analytics, and do you know where's your best or your most lovable fans at? It's not in Singapore. It's not in Australia. 50% come from America.
Really?
Yeah, 50% of the views come from the United States of America. So that's like almost 500 guys in America watching that video.
Damn.
Yep.
500 people are saying, look at that bald man in Australia.
Yeah, look at that little cute thing.
Look at that little cute thing.
Look at that little cute thing stuck under there. Oh, poor
Hey,
baby.
I'd rather one girl say that to me than 500 people.
Hey, Suman, they're probably all chicks. Go and tell him, Mo. Tell him.
I'm not too sure whether they are guys, gays, or chicks, man. But yep. But considering your first video for your breakdown almost reaching 1,000 views, is there anything on that video that you would have done better, or something, or a little more details that I did not add on to the video about the electric chair you would like to clarify?
Look, not to clarify. I mean, I don't feel I need to clarify anything. But yeah, look, I could have made that video, 27 minutes long. You know what I mean? There's so many little moments there and little fights, little battles that you got to go through to be able to get to that end result. Depending on the level that's on top, in that top half, in that lockdown position, I mean, just recovering that left underhook is just gold. It's so important. And being able to recover your left underhook when they're trying that no hand pass and you've got the lockdown in and they're kind of trying to pop out and drive their knee through to the ground. That's a real tricky spot. And what you got to do is you can't sit still for a second. You got You got to bump them. And when I say bump them, I mean bump them forward, bump them back, left, right corner, bottom right, bottom left, boom, 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 boom. So what you got to do is you got to bump them and use your biceps to bump them. That's why that underhook is so critical. And that's just one example. For instance, the reason I'm speaking about it, it's just one example of how long would that take me to go through. And then, you know, you've got clinching and squeezing, and, you know, it's different to tugging and pulling. You know, in the gi game, it's all about tugging and pulling, which is really different to, you know, clinching and squeezing and how to cinch your elbows correctly and where your shoulders should be pressing. And then your sensitivity comes in. Okay, when do you go? Do you wait? Do you bait him? Do you pop your left shoulder in as he drops down? Do you whip first with your legs? Do you whip with your right armpit, left, back? You know what I mean? There's so many different things that go into it. Yeah, sure. I mean, Jesus, I could have spent, you know, half an hour on that video. But, you know, listen, potentially I'm coming over there to Singapore and doing a seminar for the first time. I mean, you don't have no idea how super proud I am about that too. So, look, you know, I didn't want to, look, to be honest with you, I just wanted to put it on for you guys, you know what I mean? Help Suman out a little bit and help you out, Mo, to have a sense of, you know, what I'm doing and how it looks. For the fans out there, they're still scratching their head because there's a lot of, you know, people out there that aren't authentic that have been putting it up, and which is cool, they do a great job, but it was a good opportunity, but I didn't really want it to be a perfect instructional per se. Make sense? Because, man, if I wanted to make that a perfect instructional, man, I'd have 3 cameras, I'd have an overhead shot, you know, I would have, I'd be, you know, I'd probably even be, you know, maybe the positioning on my mat personally would have been different. I mean, you know, I would have made it a lot more exciting, maybe brought in some lights. You know, there's lots of ways to make that instructional, you know, world class. And that wasn't my intention, but it kind of came out like that. And I got all the support from overseas. I mean, all my friends in America, the 10th Planet family gave me nothing but love, you know. So they didn't think it was, they thought it was quite detailed anyway. So, you know, I don't know, man. Look, looking back overall, I'm really satisfied with how it came out. So, and I'm really happy, man. Like, Mo, thanks for doing the edit and so on, and those little arrows, and people were mentioning how cool those little arrows were, and it really helped them out a little bit. But look, looking back, maybe the wording I would use a bit differently, how we were describing, you know, little positions here and there, and I maybe would have added a couple of little things. But overall, man, I loved it. I mean, look, you know, 996 people can't be all wrong, right?
Yeah, man, it's great, man. But just to tell you, if you were to give me a 27-minute video, I'd rather have 27 parts of a video, so that I can play it out. Yep, that's great. But Suman, I saw that when the video was posted, you were saying that your professor did something like that.
Yeah, man, he actually showed me pretty much the same thing, even in the gi, you know. And like I showed him the video of Frank, and he said that was perfect. You know, he said it was awesome. Like he really liked the lockdown that you did with your feet, because most conventional jiu-jitsu guys, like especially with like gi guys, they don't really do that. And and he loved it. Like he took like little details out from it, and he's like, oh, I could have shown you like I should have shown you this, like this one. He said that your one was much more detailed and an advanced version. So he was like feeling, oh, I should have been more on my game. But he showed me a very, very, very similar thing. Just a few fun detailed things, like the lockdown that he had really with the feet. It was the only difference really.
So he didn't use the lockdown?
No, he had this a different method of like locking the feet, but he didn't stretch the foot out the exact same way that you did. He said that the control in a gi compared to no gi is different, you know. So he said that for no gi, he goes, if I use his control for no gi, I'm gonna get knee sliced straight away and get passed on, you know. And he said that your way is much more secure way of not getting your guard passed when you're doing this technique.
Oh, there's no way. How are you gonna do that? I mean, have you felt the power of the lockdown, Suman?
Yeah, I know. He actually, as soon as like he saw it, he's one of those guys that he can watch something and like he'll just come and straight away do it. So he saw your one and he did it, and he was like, oh, much better. And he goes, oh, I feel like I'm real good. So he did it to me, and I had a lot more trouble because we were doing no gi, you know. So he gave you mad props for that video. He said it was awesome.
Oh, it's beautiful, man. You tell him, give him a big.
He's like, everyone's got their idea on the Brazilian jiu-jitsu guys who are like, nah, because he learned from the Gracie, like he's a Gracie jiu-jitsu guy as well. But
Is he a black belt?
he's a black belt. Yeah, he is a black belt.
Wow.
He's a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and he earned his black belt in about 10 years. He's been doing Jiu-Jitsu for about 15 years. He won the Worlds in 2004 and 5. In Gi Jiu-Jitsu. He's mainly a Gi Jiu-Jitsu guy. And but he's not one of those guys that doesn't give credit where it's due. He sees something and he likes it, you know. If he's not one of those guys that be like, oh, don't do 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu, our Jiu-Jitsu is better. He says, man, there's a lot you can learn from it. And he goes, even I learned from it just watching things on YouTube.
Wow.
You know,
wow.
so and he's not one of those guys that are like, oh, Hoyler Gracie. He was saying to me, he was like, man, Eddie looked like he was good against Hoyler, you know. He watched it and he was like, Eddie never looked in trouble, you know. When most Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys would be like, nah, man, do you see the control in the top game and this and that? Like,
well,
nah,
I'll tell you what, man.
He's down to earth.
That's great. You please give him a huge fist bump for me. And listen, tell
Well,
him.
he might be coming to the well, I spoke to him and he might be coming to the seminar that you're doing in Australia with me.
Well, mate, listen, you got to tell him to come find me, man, because I mean, I don't know what he looks like or anything like that. So, man, tell him to come see me. I'll be there with Eddie. He'll know it's me. Trust me. And and tell him to come and say hi. I'd love to get a picture with that guy, man.
I'll be there
just
with
for
him.
myself, you know?
I think I'll be coming with him.
Oh, that's good, man. I'm glad to hear it. You know,
Yeah.
I know there's
My
a lot of...
support goes to you guys. Not really the gym. My support goes for you guys. So if you guys are here, I feel like I'd love to help you guys. Like, just contribute by bringing numbers and showing my guys the 10th Planet style as well. There's a lot we can learn.
Well, I'm really glad to hear it because last week I didn't look good. It didn't look good. I didn't think you were gonna make it. You know what I mean?
No. I support.
But I really appreciate it, and trust me, man, it's gonna be an incredible day. We're gonna be together, training, just laughing, having a great time. Eddie will be there. You know,
is it gonna be
breaking shit
mainly
down.
technique, no rolling, really, eh?
Nah, man. I mean, I know. Look, everybody sort of asked me that, but you know, we got Eddie for a limited amount of time, right?
Yeah.
Now, really, I know everyone's intrigued about it and curious, you know, how they would go and how it would feel and whatnot. But
I'm not really interested in getting my groin ripped apart by Eddie, to be honest.
But can you imagine what shape, what condition he would be in if every time he taught a seminar he had to roll with everybody all the time? Can you
Yeah,
imagine?
that's not cool. Like, I get where he's coming from. I'd be too scared to even talk to the guy.
You know? And me, dude, I've taught seminars all around Australia for a while, and these things happen to me too. You know, and, you know, you're thinking, hang on, you know, you've been training for a couple of years and you have no idea about the system. You got questions
Someone
about
wants to rip your neck off?
Yeah, like seriously, like really, like I'm 5'2", 64 kilos. You know, you really, and you're, you know, 98 kilogram Russian gold medalist wrestler, right? And you want to know if you can pass my guard. I think you're gonna be able to pass my guard, motherfucker. Seriously. Fucking really? Come on, man. You're paying me $100 to fucking, you know, show off in front of your friend. Give me a fucking break, dude. Listen, get in the corner and do some hip escapes and don't worry about it, all right? So, that's how I feel. That's just how I feel. I'm like, take advantage of this resource. There's a guy, give you an example, in Eddie's situation, a guy that's been doing jiu-jitsu for 19 years. He's Jean-Jacques, one of Jean-Jacques' all-time most, probably, yeah, he's got to be his most successful student, right? I mean, who's more successful than Eddie out of Jean-Jacques?
Yep.
No one, right? And he's in your country because you're lucky, and you didn't have to organize nothing. You just have to rock up, pay money. Mate, I would rather sit there with a fucking pen and a piece of paper asking him every problem that I get my head stuck in. That's what I'd be using that resource for. Not to try and test my how good my freaking omoplata is. You know what I mean? Like, that's just, you know, the rolling thing. I'm not saying that you're asking to do that, Suman. It was a good opportunity for me to address it because a lot of people ask me that, and I've seen some people do that. Like, I'll give you an example, right? Caio Terra was teaching a seminar in Melbourne, all right? This was, maybe 18 months ago. Maybe. Hang on, I got my brown September 15, 2012. That was the next year, 2013. You know what? It might have been like this time last year, about a year ago, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And he lined everybody up. And look, I'm not saying this is good or bad, but it's a hell of a way to earn your money, right? So what he did was, this is what the Gracies used to do originally. They used to line everyone wall to wall, and the brothers used to walk out, and they used to just go through everybody. Like the first hour of the seminar was everyone watching everyone get slaughtered by the Gracies, right? I don't know whether you knew that or not, but that's actually fact.
I did know that, yeah.
Okay? Which is unbelievable and probably necessary at the time. And looking back, really, can you imagine if you were like the Gracies or the Machados and there was 5
How
of
many
you?
people would be there?
Yeah, but also, how much fun would you have, Suman?
Yeah, man. When no one really knew much. And you
Suman,
just
listen, wait,
falling
let
off
me
fuck.
paint this picture, bro. Please let me explain this. Can you imagine if I took 12 of my most dangerous men with me on the road at a seminar? Do
Yeah,
you
just
fucking reckon,
taught a bunch of guys that really don't know much.
would you fucking reckon I wouldn't sick those dogs onto all of them and I would sit there scratching my balls with a smile on my face? Come on,
Yeah,
man.
I get ya.
Right? But I'm gonna go by my fucking self, right? Totally by myself,
Nah, you have me, so.
right? Of course. I'm gonna go there with maybe between 30 and 50 dudes, and they want to have a shot. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm not interested in putting myself in those positions. That's for sure, man. I'm just not. You know, you
I'll tell
imagine
you
you.
something.
know.
I understand exactly what you're saying because, especially when you mentioned the wrestler, you know, we had a wrestler that used to be at our gym a long time ago. You know, I kind of got rid of him now, just based on an ego thing. And every time like someone like a black belt or someone would come, he would automatically go to roll them, and then he would start like just doing like can openers and going real hard out. And I'm like, man, you're going hard with like 70, 75 kilo guys, and you're about 95 kilos, and
Yeah.
you're an Olympic. He was an Olympic wrestler, like you said. He's an Olympic wrestler, and they have a base like it's not like a as much as everyone thinks like a jiu-jitsu guy might be able to dominate a wrestler. Man, you get an Olympic wrestler, even against a real good BJJ guy, the base that they have is unbelievable. You know, they know one or two things, and that's the thing. If they know one or two little things, one or two little passive guards, man, they're strong and they're explosive and they hurt you.
Yeah, that's true. I agree. I'm not saying I don't like rolling with 99 kilogram Russian wrestling gold medalist. I do. I enjoy it. But not at a seminar, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not at a seminar. If you want to, this is what I say. You know how many people ask me for a roll? I'm like, hey, bro, listen, here's my card. I'm down in Melbourne. I'm open 7 freaking days a week. Calm down, and then we can have a practice session together. Not here, bro. Seriously.
Yeah.
You know? So that's, look, it was just a segue, Suman. That's all, man. It's all cool, bro.
Yeah, no,
but,
I get that.
you know.
Trust me, I wouldn't want to bother Eddie like that as well. Anyway, I want to use that time to learn my techniques and kind of get up on that too as well.
Yeah. So basically, with the Caio Terra story, obviously you know how it ends, but basically he lined everybody up, and he rolled with everybody. And then, of course, you know, there was some big boys in that room, and they were like purple belts. You know what I mean? And you know, and he was really having to turn it on. You know, and he actually said, listen, guys, you know, if you're in a bad position, you should tap, or else, you know, your leg will break. You know what I mean? Like, I could just feel that he was getting a little bit, not frustrated because he was getting the job done on everybody, but man, you know, he was earning his bucks that night. You know what I mean? So for me, I don't know whether I want to risk my neck for some nobody that just lays down $75. I have no idea. Never going to see him again. I don't know if I want to put myself that. You know what? Maybe when I'm a black belt, maybe I might think. Maybe if I was a 6-time black degree, you know, world champion, maybe I would. You know, maybe I would. I don't know.
There's no money worth injury.
No, man, and I don't think, and you know what, can I be honest, you know what, I think it was May or June, because I remember being cold, because I was sitting there for like 45 minutes for a 2-minute roll with him, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know, do you want to throw down?
How easy to roll with, by the way?
Oh, man, it was awesome. I mean, I just played from the bottom because I just didn't want to get killed. I didn't want my legs to get attacked too much. So I just pulled quarter guard, tried to lock him down. He knew he was onto it. He trains a lot with Denny over in San Francisco. So he's down there as well with Denny, and he's a 10th planet black belt. He kind of knew my game, and I tried to go underneath, and then I sort of escaped a little bit, and then he put me in. He went for a Kimura. I slipped out of that. He put me in a crucifix. I rolled a little bit out of that, and then he knee barred me. So, prick.
So he's real good with his leg locks, I'm guessing.
Yeah, he is, and he asked me, he goes, oh, we're doing leg locks, so I'm just letting you know. I was like, damn. I'll go, yeah, no worries, dude. Like, cool. You know?
We're going that serious?
Yeah, he goes, oh, we're doing leg locks because you're a brown belt. I was the only brown belt there, right? Yeah. So he said, oh, so we're doing leg locks. Like, I said, yeah, no worries, man. That's cool because he knows that our game. He knows 10 planet system from white belt, we're learning leg locks, bro. That's the way we roll, you know?
Oh, really? From white belt, you guys are doing leg locks?
Not in free sparring. We only have a straight ankle lock in free sparring.
Yep.
But we have, I teach heel hooks, inverted heel hooks. I teach toe holds, foot holds, knee bars. We do all of that shit. We do all that shit. I teach everybody all the time from the beginning. You know why? Because I don't want my guys ever to get to purple, right? Or brown, and then go and compete, and they're at blue belt level foot lock escape ability. You know what I mean? I'm not having a go at you because you're a blue, but I'm just saying that when you're against the brown belt putting foot locks on you, man, you better have your shit down. You got to start moving and escaping way before, you know, they're onto you. It's a hugely different thing. So that takes years, just like any armbar or triangle transition or omoplata. It takes time, man. And you know what? I want my white belts to know how to destroy a knee. You know why? He just may need to save his daughter, or he may need to save his mum or something. You know what I mean? I don't. Yeah. It's self-defense first as well, man. Like, we're defending against punches and elbows, dude. I don't know whether you guys remember that, but 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu is not just straight no-gi grappling on the ground, period. It is actually designed specifically for Suman to want to be dropping elbows and punching me in the face. So all our clinches and squeezes are all warranted, because just like Muhammad Ali, if he was to hit you with a left-right, left-hook combination and you start to see 3 of him, what's the first thing you're going to do, Suman? You're going to what? Are you going to go and get wrist control? What are you going to do? You're going to clinch him for life, right? Yeah. Okay, so all of our positioning is all based... Look at that electric chair, man. Look at that electric chair from the bottom. You start trying to posture up on me and punch me, man, it's going to be easier. It's going to be easier, Suman, not harder.
Yeah, and that's exactly what, because some of the guys in our class were like, oh man, I don't think this thing is real good for like jiu-jitsu, for MMA. And then my professor turned around and goes, actually that it's the opposite. He turns around and goes, if anything, it's better. Because as soon as they rain one punch down, you're gonna sweep them like nothing. And what my professor did, he actually got like the biggest guy in our class, who's an MMA fighter, and I won't say his name, but he's a good MMA fighter. But he got the biggest guy in our class and goes, all right, punch me. And he's like, nah. And he goes, no, seriously, go to punch me. He went to throw one punch. By the time he postured up to throw the punch, my professor had swept him. Yeah. You know, and he goes, man, like he goes, you're as secure as you are in your confidence in the position. He goes, if you're confident in the position that you're in, he turns around and he goes, don't worry about the person throwing a punch. Be confident in yourself.
That's right. Now I want us to say, when we're playing half guard or quarter clinch, man, we're clinching on you and we're hiding our head, man. My head is buried right in your crotch, man. Like, you're going to try and punch me. The moment you try and punch the back of my, even if you want to punch the back of my head, Suman, you have to angle your fist to go from front to back to be able to hit me in the back of the neck.
Yep.
You know,
and then your weight's off.
Exactly. And that's going to be even easier. Yeah. So, I mean, look, you're right. You're only as comfortable as, whatever that saying was exactly. It was perfect. How did you say it was perfect? What was that thing?
I said you're only as comfortable as the position that you're in. As in, like, if you're in a position and you're confident in that position, then you're comfortable. Exactly. You know, so it doesn't matter if you're on the bottom in a deep half guard. As long as you're confident in what you're doing, you can get the sweep.
Absolutely. And let me tell you, Suman, how many hours do you reckon Eddie's been in half guard on his back, being smashed with a forearm in his neck?
Possibly 10,000.
Yeah, at least, right? See, this is another thing. Like Muhammad, you asked me today. You said, "What would you change? What would you do different?" In the video, I said nothing, man. I like what I did, but it would have been a freaking 45-minute video, right? Seriously. Well, Eddie has taught me a lot about all of these moments, and the fact that he's been through all of these moments that I have to go through every single day for the last 8 years is incredible to me, to see him be able to execute under enormous stress the exact things that he's always talked about. That was just such a privilege for me. And the fact that, like I said about the Hoyler rematch back then, whenever it was a few weeks ago, that I'm going. That's my whole thing. I've totally used Eddie as a complete game mentor to me. Do you understand what I mean by that?
Yep.
Like, I've totally designed my entire game exactly on the decisions that Eddie makes. So that was a big deal for me. So I really understand that position, is what I'm trying to tell you. I really understand what you mean that, you know, you're only as comfortable as the position you're in. Man, I'm so comfortable in the... Now, not to say that I don't get guillotined, because I do get caught now and then, you know. Some guys are big and strong, you know, really talented guys. Sometimes you make a slight error, or you don't get quite that lockdown stretched up, and bam, they take your neck like a flash, you know, in a flash. So, you know, that's going to happen, but, you know, 98% of the time, man, I'm in total control of the situation, although it looks like if my mother was watching me on the sideline like Eddie's mum was, she'd probably be horrified, thinking I was getting murdered in front of the whole world, you know?
All right, man. Just to tell you, Frank, you don't have to worry about big guys trying to kill you or nothing, because number one is I'll be there.
That's right, dude. Man, you're a beast. Man, you're a beast, dude. Man, I saw you in a wife beater and a cigarette, man. Dude, I was shaking and trembling, and that little bit of hair on your chin. Oh boy, man, I don't know whether to fall in love or fall unconscious. I don't know what I needed to do.
Oh man! All right, that's number one. And number two is that I'm trying to get not only one, not two, but 3 Australian top team guys to be at your seminar in Singapore.
Oh man.
Yep, one of them is Suman Mokhtarian.
Oh
Yes.
man.
Another one is Sam K.
Yep.
Wow.
Another one is Joib. Did I pronounce it?
you better put. He's a Dutch champion in Muay Thai. Recently been doing some Jiu Jitsu and loving it. So he said he would love to come to the seminar in Singapore as well.
Oh man, that would be. Listen, man, let me tell you something, okay? I'm just a normal dude from the streets. You know what I mean? Like I never got. I got to tell you right now, man. Even in my 20s, I didn't dream that I would be teaching martial arts in another country, let alone 3, potentially 4, especially with 10th Planet. Like, I introduced 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu to Australia. We know that. I introduced 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu to the Caribbean in 2008. I don't know whether many people know that, but I did. And also, you know, coming to Singapore will be my 3rd country that I'll be taking 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu to and exposing it authentically for the very first time. And also, I'm in conversation right now with Holland as well. So, you know, you have no idea, man. Did you think, come on, Suman, seriously, I'm 43 years old, man. I've just been pushing and working my ass off for the last 8 years. Like, I'm just following my passion. Like, I'm not really, like, working, right? Like, my mum always said to me, you know, find what you love. You never have to work a day in your life. You know what I mean? And I can't believe that people want to come to my seminar in Singapore. I mean, can you imagine? My head's exploding, bro. Seriously.
And any opportunity I get to come to your seminar would be awesome. You know, I'd love to learn some things. Obviously, like some guys don't like to get out of their comfort zone, and like, cause I know if I come into one of your seminars, I'm gonna be like, it's gonna be like my first day of jiu-jitsu again. You know what I mean? But
it's like
I
that for
want
everybody, Suman.
to be in that position, and I want to learn eventually because. Hey man, if you want to test yourself with the best guys in the world, you got to roll with the best guys in the world, and you got to learn from the best guys. And man, if there's anyone to learn from, it's you and Eddie.
Oh man. Oh well, I really appreciate the props, man. That's
No worries.
means a lot, and dude, and I can't wait. Can you imagine how much fucking fun we'll have, dude? Can you imagine on the mat?
Exactly.
Fucking hell, man. It's gonna be awesome, dude. And showing you, mate, and I'll just spew up all that good shit, man. You better be ready, because your brain's gonna fucking fry. Swear to God, it's gonna be sick, man. Sick.
I'll be there to cam and take highlights and everything, so not to
Bullshit.
worry.
You're gonna be the person partnering with me, dude. I'm gonna be putting you in a fucking vaporizer 77 times, motherfucker. You ain't going nowhere with a camera. You're fucked. I'm coming after you.
All right, so I'm gonna get my ass kicked when Frank comes down, and I can't wait. But the thing I wanna promote this seminar is not only 10 Planet Jiu-Jitsu coming down in Singapore. I think that's like the first ever 10 Planet Jiu-Jitsu seminars in Singapore. By the top ranking 10 Planet Jiu-Jitsu guy in the Asian Australian scene, Frank Barca. And not only that, there will be 3 guests on the seminar that will be from Australian top team, and one of them is going to fight in Rebel FC August Cut as well. So it's a fucking big thing, bro.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you.
I
Thank
can't
you,
wait. I can't wait. Any opportunity I get to train with the man Frank, I'm down for.
That's sick, man. But Mo, listen, dude, you know how much I respect you, right? We've talked off air. We've talked about a lot of things. We've had a lot of fun. We've had a lot of laughs. Like, you've met my family and shit. Like, I've taken you for a tour of my house. Listen, man. I can't wait to meet you, dude. I can't wait to see you. And no, dude, you're safe with me, man. Anyone touches you, I'm gonna fuck them up. I swear to God, it's gonna be awesome. We're boys now. We're boys now, man. You listen. What you've done for me and the amount of exposure you've given me, and you've helped so much, man. I mean, look at that. Nearly 1,000 views in how many in a week? How many? No, it hasn't even been a week.
No, it's only 2 days, 2.5 days.
Oh, 2.5 days.
Yeah.
Mo, if you saw what I do in 2.5 days, bro, no wonder why it feels like a week. Jesus Christ.
All right. Also, just to shout out on Alan Cole, who have been listening to the show, and he listened to the part where you guys were discussing about the seminar, and he's a manager in Reps Fitness in a gym in Johor, and he tells me that is a good segment. So props to you guys as well, bringing on the great discussions on the show.
Oh, awesome, man. That's great. Awesome. Cool. Super.
So are we expecting any more video breakdowns from you, Frank?
Yeah, sure. Look, I want to go over the stoner control circuit now because Eddie works a position where he manages to work. See, basically what happened. Let me just. Have I got time for this? Have I got time?
Yes, we have all the time in the world. You know how long my shows go.
All right. All right. It'll be Mother's Day, and he's got like a spider web growing from his ear to his shoulder. Right. He'll still be on the show, right? Anyway, don't worry about it. Anyway, all right. What the hell was I saying? What did you ask me? Oh yeah, the breakdown. Okay. See. Going back, let's go back a little bit to the fight with Eddie, because this is very important. You have no idea what a great resource that rematch was for me personally. To be able to go back under pressure testing circumstances and dissect, like I've got a CAT scan machine, everything that was going on, every bump forward and back, the way he set up that underhook, the lockdown, his complete path, all the way to side control. Now, what happened was, when Eddie went to side control with the head, arm, and leg, that's called the electric cradle. Okay, in wrestling, when you grab the head and the leg together, there's usually an arm in there as well trapped in, usually, and correct me if I'm wrong, Suman, because your wrestling's on point, but it's usually called a cradle of some sort, right? Some kind of cradle.
It is. We call it a cradle.
Well, see? Anyway, so we call it the electric cradle, all right? And that's when we've got the head, arm, and leg in side control. And just a reminder that no one's been able to do that to Royler ever in the world, to pass his guard, and Eddie did it effortlessly. But anyway, just a side note. But basically, he let the leg go, and then what he wanted to do is he wanted to make a break for twister side control. And twister side control is when you face the legs and you sit on their right bicep, which is on the bottom. Does that make sense, Suman?
Yep.
And you're checking their right knee so you don't get like a spazzing knee in the face, because that happens all the time. So your right hand has to check that. And your left arm and elbow is alongside their spine, tucked in tight, and pulling back to try and get their their left arm across their face. So my elbow is flat and pushing backwards. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. So what Eddie wanted to do was make a break to that position. And at that moment, if Royler was going to transition, which Eddie knew he would, because that's what you do. You transition when they move, because you can't move, you're stuck, right? He was planning that Royler would turn in towards him, and he didn't. He turned away from him, which is really against Jiu-Jitsu rule. But
exactly, because you get your back taken.
Yeah, but man, Eddie, and that's what Eddie went to do. And he went to put him in the twister, and he went for the 100%, and he was stuck on his back with that 100%, we call it 100%, where he had his neck getting cranked and his leg was stuck, and there was a lockdown from the bottom. Does that make sense? So Eddie missed the opportunity to go to the twister. So when he went back again and put him back into the electric chair and swept him, he knew in advance. He said, I knew I couldn't get him in the twister because I tried, right? And I tried to take his back and he shrugged me off. Do you remember that, Suman?
Yep.
Muhammad, do you remember that?
Yep.
He shrugged him off, man. So he said to himself, listen, the only way I'm going to put this kid away is if I go to stoner control. And what that is that from the electric chair, you pass the leg over the head. And I actually show it at the end of the video, right? But very, very quickly. Where you pass the leg over the head, you sit up and you body lock, and then you clinch. And you get them to push you. You lay a bait, and you push your head down, and it makes them push away. And then you sell it so that it makes him think that you want to clinch, and that he wants to push your head away. And that's what pushed Eddie into the vapor roll and went into the vaporizer. So maybe I should break it down. What do you think?
Yeah, man, that would be awesome.
Yeah, man,
Can you imagine that would be an 87-minute video? Oh my God!
That vaporizer is like just what the other jiu-jitsu guys would call a calf crusher, right?
Calf
No,
slicer.
it's a couple of things. Muhammad, you know what it is. Tell him.
It's a calf slicer, isn't it?
And it's a knee. You're actually torquing the knee. It's an ankle, like a toe hold on the ankle, and it's also a calf crank. It's a calf slicer, and it's like a knee crank. Man, you're pulling the tibia and the fibula heads away from the patella. The patella is going medial or going inwards, and the lower shin is getting twisted backwards out to the right-hand side. So it's actually causing like a heel hook, but without the...
Yeah, I get you.
You understand? It's putting a twist and a torque, and what usually happens is the tibia head dislocates, and the tibia and fibula. The fibula head dislocate and as well, and it also blows out all the lateral collateral ligaments in the knee as well. It's terrible, man. And if it's sudden enough and the knee falls apart, you can actually start exploding the anterior or the ACL, the anterior cruciate ligament as well. Dude, it's 18 months rehab on something like that. And to see Hoyler's a beast. For him to be able to withstand that for 3 or 4 minutes, my God, dude. That guy's insanely, I don't know, man.
Good calves.
Rubbery, Gumby, elastic, I don't know. Maybe he eats rubber bands. I don't know, man. Those watermelon shots must be really working, honestly.
Juice.
Sure. Watermelon juice. Hoyler loves watermelon juice. What do you mean?
Nothing.
Bad
All right, Frank. I think that's almost an hour up for you. You have anything else to say?
Yeah, just a shout out to all of my students, man. My students at 10th Planet Melbourne, I love them to death, man. They're my friends, and they come and train, and they work their asses off, and they love Jiu Jitsu, and they're huge supporters. They love the show. You know, they think it's hilarious. They can't wait to meet Suman and you. Man, it's all happening. I tell them everything that goes on, man. They just love what we're doing. So all the boys and girls out of 10th Planet JJ Melbourne, in Melbourne, Victoria, if you know, thanks for your support. Also, anyone that's in Victoria, man, if you want to come check us out, go to 10thplanetjjmelbourne.com for details. We've got our class times and our structure, what we're doing on what days, so you can choose if you want to wrestle a little, if you want to do some striking, if you want to work on your 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu, you come and do that. Also, we've got June 7, Eddie Bravo, my master, is coming down to my school for the 4th year in a row to hold a seminar from 12 to 3 p.m. Listen, tickets are still available. It's selling out fast. If you want to get in on the action, if you're in Melbourne or even in Australia, I've got my students flying down all over the country. So if you want to take part of that, it would be absolutely awesome to have you down as a guest. So it's $125 for the seminar, money order in the mail. Hit me up on Facebook. You can check me out there at Frank Barca. That's Barca. And you can, I'll answer your questions, or you can even email me there. You don't even have to be friends or anything. So I can still get the message across on how to get that done and show up for the June 7th seminar. Also, for our Sydney fans and our Sydney followers, obviously June 8th, KMA. It's at Faris Zalewski's school on the 8th of June. The time hasn't, I don't think the time has been put out yet. I'm not sure. I think it's 1 to 4, is it? Or is it 11 till 2? I can't remember. Maybe it's on the flyer. I gotta have a look. I don't know. So check it out, and the number's on the flyer on my Facebook page as well. Or you can go to 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu Melbourne on Facebook, hit us up there and like our page and keep up to date with what's going on with our classes and what we're covering in our classes, and some highlights and some photos as well. It's always cool and interesting. Jesus, anything else?
Do you go home? Are you going to fly home the same night on the 8th?
No, I'm flying home Monday morning the 9th, and I can fly out later if you want to hang out.
Yeah, no, that's all. I was just checking my thing now. So you leave Monday morning?
Yeah, but if you want,
we'll go. I'll take you out to. Oh, if you wanted, I know Eddie would probably be with the thing. If you're not with them or anything, we'll go out to dinner or something. Catch up.
Well, you know what? I'll keep that in mind, Suman. Maybe I can organise something and we can maybe all have dinner together. How would you like that?
No worries. We'd love it, mate.
Meet Eddie, you know.
Yeah, man, it would be great. It would be great.
Yeah, man. So that's that. Also, if you want to see Eddie teaching, breaking shit down like an absolute assassin that he is, you can go to 10thplanetjj.com. Click on Mastering the System, MTS, Mastering the System, for $5.50 a month. You can get a subscription, and twice a month he has a 2-hour web show. He breaks down all the techniques that he covers at HQ. There's highlights of fights. There's highlights of 10th Planet Warriors around the world doing their thing. I was actually featured on it last weekend, actually, so that was a huge, huge deal. That was awesome, man. You have no idea what that meant to me. I was the first person to be able to teach a technique at HQ on MTS, and Eddie featured it. I was totally blown away. Check it out, MTS. Go to the 10thplanetjj.com website. There's also a kick-ass forum on there. I'm always on there. Eddie's on there every single day. All the best guys are on there every single day. You can see basically what we do, how we, talk to each other, communicate, some of the topics, the themes that we rise all the threads that we put up there. So get up there. There's a lot of great things up there. Oh, Jesus Christ. What else? EBR, Eddie Bravo Radio. If you love podcasts, if you want to hear Eddie, what his breakdowns are on certain issues, he's got like, I don't know how many he's done, 50-something podcasts.
Yep.
He's got incredible guests on there. If that's your thing, if you're into it, check it out. EBR, Eddie Bravo Radio. It comes out on iTunes roughly around Tuesday afternoon in Melbourne or in Australia. After the download, or you can listen to it live every Monday afternoon at 3 p.m. if you're interested in doing that. My sponsors, Morla Chiropractic, really appreciate it. What you guys do, a Fight Factory as well down here in Victoria. Really appreciate it. All your support, and of course you guys are my biggest support. I love you guys being out, allowing me to do this, so I really appreciate it, and hopefully I'll get that breakdown out to you guys this week.
Awesome, man. But before I let you go, before I let Frank go, I just want to discuss on one controversial topic. And I want Suman's input as well. As you all know, in Singapore, this is what I think and this is what I see. 90% are Gracies, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. And probably 10%, 15% are checkmates, Vieiras. Is it the same situation in Australia whereby the traditional style of jiu-jitsu coaches attest their guys to go to 10 Planet seminars?
Like what we don't, are you asking if we don't allow, like Gracie guys don't allow their guys to go to 10th Planet?
Yep, in Australia. Is that the same here?
You know what? I'm not in the system anymore with the whole Gracie Baja, Gracie Humeda, Gracie Sydney thing. Or even the Machado, you know, I think we're in the line of Gracies, but like I'm on the Giant Jiu-Jitsu, and what our Jiu-Jitsu instructors all say is, man, go out and learn from whoever you can. But that's our instructors, man. Like our guys are cool. They're like, go out and learn from whoever you can. There's nothing that you can go there and learn that would be wrong and won't benefit your game. Go roll with different. They encourage us, go roll with different guys. Go learn from different guys and see what suits you. Now, on the other hand, you've got a McDonald's, as I like to call it, Gracie Baja corner here. And their guys would probably say, no, don't go to these seminars. And you know what? It's funny because they go to these seminars sometimes, and I've caught them out. Some guys from other schools come to seminars, and then they try and shy away from the big photo they take at the end. Because they don't want their photo shown, which is a real shame, and you know. But I know that there are instructors out there that wouldn't want their guys going to a 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu thing because of their arrogance and things like that. But hey, man, you guys are the ones that are missing out. If you guys want to be legit, if you want to be new age, this is new school, new age, new era Jiu-Jitsu, and it's working, you know. So why wouldn't you want to learn from the best guys in the world?
How about you, Frank? Do you have like any students come in and say, you know, I don't want my pictures taken, or I don't want you to tell my coach or my friends that I come here to train, like secretly training with you guys?
Absolutely.
And we get it at Australian Top Team. We get guys that are coming down and they're like, listen, man, I really, really want to train here, but I don't know how to tell my coach. So they come and train here a few nights and pay like casual rates, and they're just like, man, I really just love rolling with your guys and learning from your professor, but I don't know how to tell my Nazi of an instructor. So, and then they're like, oh, I can't get in any photos or anything and things like that. But they come and train with us, man. I'll tell you, from some of the biggest MMA schools in Australia, they come down and train here, and we don't say anything. We keep that private. You know, that's on them. It's up to them how they want to deal with that stuff. But they come and they train with us, and their instructors wouldn't be too happy about it. Just because, you know what, we're a different style. They're worried that their guys are gonna convert over, and I don't ever push anyone to come over and stay with us. It's either you're with us or against us. If a guy comes and trains here for 1 or 2 days, and then a fight's off it, I'm not gonna say, oh yeah, he trains with us, not fight. You're either Australian Top Team to me or you're not. You know, so yeah, I don't mind those guys coming and training with us. It's good. It's good for them. We get a different rolling partner as well. I like it. See different guys, purple belts, brown belts coming in and rolling with us. It's cool. It's good to learn.
How about you, Frank? What's your experience on this?
All right. First of all, when it comes to Eddie's seminars, we've pretty much sold them out just with our own people, like around Australia. But in saying that, how many inquiries do you reckon? Let's say we get about 80 to 85 people at that seminar, because that's pretty much me maxing out at my school, right?
Mm-hmm.
So out of those 85 people, right, that come to the seminars, how many phone calls do you think I got inquiring to come to the seminar from outside of my own people?
I don't know, man. Probably
I would hope a lot.
200.
Suman, Mohammed, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Ooh, probably 500.
What?
Dude, nobody else comes to Eddie's seminars except our own people. And this is, let me just explain. This is in the past. I mean, it's changing now. I mean, you know how many inquiries I've been getting from everybody now for the next seminar coming up June 7th?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Right? But let me tell you something, man. Nobody, and regardless of whether, they could have all come. Like, I would have sold the tickets to them, and I would have told my own guys, listen, I told you to get in early and you didn't, you missed out, too fucking bad. Right? That's normal, right? It's like with anything. But let me tell you, man, there was no ever risk of my guys not having a spot because of the guys calling me from the outside. Trust me. Trust me.
Wow.
Yeah. But now, what I've been doing, one thing that I'm really proud about, is I've really stuck my neck out over the last, 8 years and really tried to build a strong relationship with select people that I felt respected me regardless around in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu community. And those people, I go and see them. I participate in their gradings. I go down there because some of my boys, sometimes my friends, I've known some of these guys for 4 or 5 years, and they're my friends, and they were getting their black belts. So I got invited to go over there and hang out with them and watch them do their grading and participate and have a role with them. And, I do things like that. Like, I get out of my own school and I go and do seminars. I've done seminars with Caio Terra, Robert Drysdale. I mean, you name it, man. Dean Lister, of course, Eddie's my teacher too. But, John Will, Higgin Machado. I mean, I go out there and drag my guys down with me. But, nobody, well, now it seems to be changing. But you know something, Suman? I'm not getting the brown belts coming. I'm not getting the purple belts coming.
Getting the
I'm not
white
getting
belts.
the black belts coming, bro. I'm getting freaking blue belts and white belts that have got, I don't know, they seem to have, I don't know, they just haven't been put under anybody's hypnosis yet or some shit. I don't fucking know, right? but there's no fucking brown belts, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And Suman, did you or did you not say tonight that even your black belt instructor, who sounds awesome to me, even didn't have those details down in his example of the electric chair?
Yeah, no, he didn't.
Right.
And I won't lie about that. And let's, I'm gonna remind you guys again. He was a 2-time world champion in Jiu-Jitsu.
Right.
He's been doing this for 15 years.
Right.
And he just went to the. He went to the Melbourne, what was it? It was the Melbourne Open. It was the IBJJF competition. He came back and he brought 4 gold medals back, in gi and no gi. So he knows his shit.
Yeah, exactly. And what the point I'm getting to, the point I'm alluding to, is that even he has the humility to see something for what it really is and go, holy shit, that guy's a brown belt. And he's highlighting details that maybe I should be highlighting. I don't give a fuck. That in itself is a fucking victory for me, man. I can't fucking tell you. And finally, I hope every brown belt or black belt or fucking 6th degree, whatever the fuck you are, listen, this is a very short time on this fucking planet. Very short time. And your window of competition and to be a stud is closing every fucking day. Why would not, if you are passionate and you love Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and you love no gi, and just for the fact that it is Jiu-Jitsu, why wouldn't you want to go and check it out for what it is, just to be that white belt all over again? Why the fuck would you not do that? For me, I feel sorry for these people. I don't get mad. I don't get angry. I don't give a fuck. I know what I'm doing. I know who I'm connected with. I'm on a podcast with you in Singapore and Suman in Sydney. Am I a fucking idiot or what? Are we all idiots? Listen, I think these people need to just drop it. Calm down. Let's shake hands. Let's fucking break bread. Let's have a roll. Let's swap a little bit of sweat and sit there and smile and bump fists and just realize that this is all the same fucking thing, man. It's just another way to do it. That's all it is. That's all it is, man.
It's
Just
fucking
blows my
bananas.
mind.
I'm telling you, people out here are fucking bananas.
All right, man. I'll take that advice. For anyone listening to the show or anyone going to listen to the show for the whole week, Frank seminar is coming up. I will give the date. I will give the venue. As long as Frank can give me the confirmation of his flight details. Once it's up, it's simple. Shake hands, bump fists, sweat, and have fun.
Exactly. That's
it's
it. That's
about.
beautiful, man. That's exactly right. That's beautiful, man. Hey, listen, boys, I'm going to let you go. Is there anything else?
Nope. See you next week,
Thank you
bro.
very much for being on.
This is awesome, man. This is what I really love this show tonight. I just felt that I could really just be me, you know. And Suman, you supported me right through it, man. And some of the things you said was cool. So, man, big hug coming your way. Muhammad, you're a huge support for me, man. I'll get that video done and you won't be disappointed. Thank you very much. But what you do is, when I get this video to you, I want you, before you put it up, I'm going to make sure I go over it one more time. Is there any way you can give me like a running list instead of you having to render the whole video first?
Yeah, sure, man. Not a problem. We'll talk about.
So then we can get all the dialogue right. You know what I mean? We can get it exactly.
Sure,
so
man.
that'll be even
Okay,
more
Frank.
powerful.
I'll tell you what. You can talk to me tomorrow in the afternoon or evening. I'm a bit busy, or Wednesday.
Okay.
All right.
No problem.
Awesome.
No worries. See you,
All right.
Frank.
Thanks, boys. Enjoy your night. Awesome job. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so Frank is out and I'm here with Mr. ATT Suman Mokhtarian. Let's get on with the events of the evening. Brace.
Brace. Yeah, man. Brace. Do you want to start or do I want to start it?
You start off.
Man,
The
alright,
only
okay,
thing I saw was Fatihi's fight, so I don't know what the fuck happened down there, man.
I'll tell you, man. I'll be dead serious. Man, Brace to me was a bit of a disappointment.
Aww.
Even though we went 2-2, we had 2 fighters, 2 wins.
Uh-huh.
Both great wins, you know. It was a bit disappointing to me because I walked in and, man, the crowd was horrible.
Aww.
Like, I expected so much more. Like, I'm not saying, like, they weren't a bad crowd. It was just, man, you know, it's a great thing for me, but usually, if I have a fight, right, and one of my guys is fighting,
Uh-huh.
I usually have a woman in the back screaming louder than I am when I'm screaming at my guys.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It was, in one of our fights, it was dead quiet. You know? And in so many of the fights, it was just dead quiet. And, like, I'm not saying this because it wasn't because the fans were real respectful. Like, you see the Japanese fans, they're dead silent at one stage, you know, when they're watching fights, which I think is awesome. I think it's incredible. But it wasn't that. It was that they weren't really sold. They didn't sell many tickets.
Okay.
You know, like, man, the way I looked at it, how much money would he have lost on that show? And you know what? It's an error that shouldn't have been made, because, to be honest, they had 7 fights on that card.
Okay.
All right, a 7-fight card on Brace. They had 1 pro fight and 6 amateurs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in saying that, in the 6 amateur fights that they had, now they had guys from Canberra, they had which is ACT 3 hours away, 4 hours away.
All right.
They had guys from the Central Coast an hour away. They had guys that were, listen, if you want to make money and you want to show the, I'm not talking about making the promoter money, but we need the shows to be successful in the sense of like, if the shows aren't successful, they're gonna go bust and there's not gonna be any show anymore.
Yep.
Now, the problem wasn't the people. The problem was the promoter. And I'm sure he's got some grandmaster plan or something, but the problem was he's gone and got these fighters from 3 hours, 4 hours away. A fighter from Queensland. In the main event, he had a local boy go up against a guy from Queensland and this and that. Man, this Brace show. I don't understand. Amateurs don't get paid in Australia.
All right.
Amateurs do not get paid. Everyone knows this. Amateurs do not get paid. So if you're going to put 1 pro fight on, why don't you just have 10 amateur fights, right? And have more local guys on the show to support the show and make the fighters really feel like they're in something. You know? I don't know. I just felt like it was a bit of a letdown because of the fighters that they had involved. Now, I'm not saying anything bad about the fighters involved. It's good that they got an opportunity to come, but we could have had more than 7 fights on the card, and had more local guys on. It was just a shame. Like I saw most of the guys weren't even within an hour of where their gyms weren't even within an hour of where the stadium is. Now around North Sydney where the show was held, man, there's so many gyms. There's so many gyms. My gym's about half an hour away. There's an endless amount of gyms within a half an hour radius. But man, some people don't want to in peak hour traffic on a even on Saturdays we have traffic here. They don't want to make that hour-long, 2-hour-long, 3-hour-long trip, and it's disappointing sometimes, but that's the reality of it. He needed more fights, and he needed more local fighters, And now, I'm not an expert, but I'm pretty sure his pockets are saying he should have made this mistake. Now, eventually, what's he gonna do? Like, if he's not making money, he's gonna go bust. We lose out.
Yep.
Now, we lose out because of still. It goes back to the promoter, a critical error by the promoter where he should have. It's cool to get those guys from ACT and that going on, but you can't get a guy from ACT versus a guy which is 3 hours away versus a guy from Central Coast which is an hour and a half away. People aren't going to come to that. You're going to get maybe 5-6 people in max. We had two people I can remember who had crowds. Out of the 14 fighters that they had, 2 people I could hear had a vocal crowd. You know what I mean? And that was the whole crowd.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And it was that was the only disappointing thing about it. But the fights were good. That is one thing. Even he put on good fights. Even though that some of the fighters weren't they weren't established, even amateurs. A lot of them were first timers, but they had some good fights on the show. They had. Even the guys that came from ACT, they put on a good show, which is the real shame of it. It was a solid showing of fighters. It's just a shame that we didn't have more people to see it there. And the other thing that really worries me is I didn't see a camera guy.
Oh man.
Honestly, I did not see a camera guy. And I'm looking around wondering where the fuck are they recording from? Now, if there's a show like Brace, you've heard of Brace. They do a lot of things on Facebook to try and promote and things and that.
Yep.
Man, maybe get a bit more fight videos up and things like that. But man, I think they didn't even sell half of the place out. Trent, my young guy, when he did that Sanchai kick, he had a fight at the same venue.
Mm-hmm.
It was the same venue. When he was at the same venue, that place was packed. That place was wall to wall packed, and this is a kickboxing show when MMA actually sells more than kickboxing, right? But it just seemed like it's not that people weren't interested, it was that it was too far for some people to come.
Yeah, man, I get that with you, man. Because the thing is, I'm quite worried about Rebel FC 2 coming in. I want the whole place to be packed, and the thing is, there is not much hardcore MMA fans here. Who knows who is Miguel Torres?
Yeah.
Yes. So so Justin, Chad, whoever on Rebel FC management right now, if you guys are banking in on Miguel Torres, please don't.
I'll tell you. I've spoken to them, and they seem to have a trick up their sleeve that they haven't let me in on.
Yeah, I'm hoping, man.
And I'm hoping it's something big. To me, Miguel Torres is one of the greatest bantamweights of all time.
Mm-hmm.
If I was around and I knew Miguel Torres was fighting, I would go to that fight. But that's me. I'm a hardcore fan.
Yep. I understand. If it was me, I would go to that fight as well.
Yeah. But, if you want to get the average person that wears a tap-out shirt in that crowd, man, you're going to have to bring over Melvin Manhoff.
Oh, you got to bring in Kimbo Slice.
Yeah, someone like Kimbo Slice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, you got to bring someone like that. You got to bring a national hero. You got to have some Singaporean guy fight Suman.
Yeah, Man, hey, we're having a Singaporean guy fight me.
Yep, and I'm gonna hype it up. But first things first, Alan has been listening to the show and he's asking me if Brace is still connected to the One FC network. Do you know anything about that, Suman?
As far as I'm concerned, they are.
That's what I thought as well.
Yeah, they are. The rumor is that, well, what's gonna happen is, they're having the
Tournament?
the tournament, right?
Yep.
So what they're saying, what I've heard is, because the last year they had Martin Nguyen versus Luke Standing for the featherweight championship.
Yep.
Now, the winner of that contract was presented with a One FC contract, which ended up being Martin. Congrats to him for the One FC contract. And the rumor is now this is a way for One FC to get more of the real talent of Australia into the show, into One FC. So supposedly whoever wins and is the champion at the end of this will be offered a One FC contract from bantamweight, featherweight to light heavyweight.
Well, that's awesome, man. I just can't wait for the guys up. Since
It is cool, to be honest. But I would have rather see some other names in all different weight divisions. Man, I'll tell you something. The two weight divisions to watch in my opinion, the best weight division in that whole thing is the bantamweight division. The bantamweight division, it has some good guys, man.
Your brother?
No. He actually got rejected.
Really?
Yeah. I put his name forward, and the promoter said to me, "Tell him to go back, have a few more fights, and
Wow.
come back." Yeah, it was pretty funny. But he's not in the tournament. He'll be in it next year if another promotion doesn't snap him up. But the thing that happened is, the bantamweight division has some real talented guys, man. Like that's a real dogfight in there. The featherweight division as well has a few good guys. The lightweight division's a bit all over the shop. I think it's just 4 guys in the lightweight division. I don't know why. I think that the 4 guys are fighting, and then they fight the lightweight champ, who I can't even remember who he is, in the last show. But like I'm looking at the middleweight division. There's a few good guys, but like no one that really like stands out as much as like if you look at the bantamweight division, man, my money is on Jordan Lucas. Jordan Lucas 4-0 from Melbourne, Team Nemesis in Melbourne. Jordan's a beast. Jordan's 19 years old. He's represented Australia in the Sambo World Games in Russia.
And he won?
No, he didn't win, but he went pretty good. He actually lost to a Russian, which makes sense. Over there, but he did really well. He's an awesome fighter. When I'm saying an awesome fighter, I'm saying from standing to on the floor, this kid's good, you know. He's got it, you know. He's a great bantamweight. And I'm not just saying this because he's a good friend of mine, but he's really got it, you know. He's good. We've got Stephen Reeks, who I think is one of the dark horses in that division. I think he's 6-1 as a pro. He's a featherweight. Now he's dropping down to bantamweight. I think his power at bantamweight is going to be something that's going to be hard to match, you know. And there's obviously the guys in the featherweight division like Jamie Malaki, who I think, in my opinion, will take it out. But then we got the other divisions where, like, I've got one guy who I think, he's going to win the whole thing, you know, and then all this, you know. So I think the other divisions aren't as strong as the bantam and the featherweight division. Now, if you told me, I'll put like a list together of some of the best welterweights and some of the best middleweights and things like that to get together for this brace tournament, I know a lot of guys that would have fought in it that aren't in it. Now, the reason they aren't in it is maybe because of the pay or something like that, but or maybe they just weren't contacted, you know, about this. You know, like there was an open thing out, but I think a few guys could have been rejected because they were asking for a bit more than what they were offered and things like that. But I don't know, like I'm just a bit iffy on the situation. Listen, Brace is a good show. The promoter's a good guy too, Caio. He's a great guy, and he really wants to see the best fights. but I just think that sometimes he makes critical errors in thinking that he's gonna get people in the doors when they're not local fighters. Like, to be honest, one thing I'm pretty disappointed about is the Brace Canberra card, which is in 2 weeks' time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we have Sam K,
Alright.
fighting. He's in the main event in this tournament, right? We have Sam K fighting, and he's fighting a guy named Mike Turner. He's a brown belt in Jiu Jitsu. Mike the Turninator Turner,
Okay.
some fucking idiot. Right? Trust me, man. He's been talking so much shit on Facebook. Like, I feel fucking sorry for him. Sam pretty determined to beat the fuck out of him. So anyway, so he's fighting Mike Turner. Now the thing is, Mike Turner is from Adelaide, which is 20 hours away drive. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You got to get a 3-hour flight if you wanted to come from Adelaide. Then he's fighting Sam K. Sam K is a local from around here. Now, he's having Sam K fight in Canberra, which is 3 hours away. When Sam K was available to fight in the first leg of the tournament, or even he had a leg of the tournament on this weekend, right, in North Sydney. Why couldn't you have a local fighter fighting in that show instead of both fighters being from out of town in Canberra for the main event? To me, that doesn't make sense.
Oh man.
You know, like, no one's gonna have a local crowd there. You're gonna have your friends and family there, but if you tell me right now there's a show 2 hours away, I could get a group of my friends and family to come. If you were to tell me there's a show 20 minutes away from my gym or 30 minutes away from my gym, I could sell 100, 150 tickets. You know, that's not including the tables that I'd sell, you know? Because people from my gym and people that are close by, all my friends will be like, nah, it's on a drive, I can make it, I've got nothing else on, boom, I can make it. It's hard for people to sometimes make that drive down, you know? And you
I
gotta
understand.
realize that.
I totally understand with that, man. I'm just hoping that, you know, with the thing is that me and you, to tell the truth, this is our 18th episode. So that's like 4 months running, and we have been pissing a lot of people off. And we don't piss people just for the sake of attention or what, because we want to see a better product.
Exactly.
Exactly. So
And you know what? I'll probably get ripped on for some of the things I say about the show or anything, but hey, man, that's how it is. Like, you know, I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. Like I said, the fights on the show were good. It's just a shame that there weren't more people in there to see it. And the reason for that is, have those 7 fights from out of town people. Put 5 more fights on. You're not losing anything. You're losing a few tickets that you give to their friend, like their mum and dad or whoever's gonna come. The promoter gives them a ticket or 2 to come and watch the show as their purse. You know, they just give them a couple tickets. Give those couple tickets. You're not losing anything. You know, that guy will probably bring more friends that will buy tickets.
yep, that's true.
That's all I think. And if we want our sport to evolve and grow, man, I'll tell you, it's if we have a show, and say it's your first time going to an MMA show, and you go and you saw that crowd, you're gonna be like, hey, like, you're like, hey, not many people come to these things, and you're like, oh, there's not really much of a big fuss. If you see a sold out stadium and people are roaring and screaming, you get into the fights more. You know what I mean?
Yep.
See, it just becomes a bit dull and seated and everything when there's not people screaming at the top of their lungs.
All right, talking about crowd. Dude, did you watch the Raymond Daniels KO finish on Glory 16? The video
Yes, I
was
did.
Okay, I know Glory actually posted the HD quality, but if you saw the phone quality, did you hear the crowd when he
Yeah,
did the
man.
spinning kick? Before that,
yeah.
there was a knockdown when they were trading fists. Then the crowd was roaring. Then after that finale, oh my god, the crowd
That
have. The thing
That
I
was
just
so quick and so brutal, that kick.
No, but the thing I just want to point out is the crowd is always a part of the show. Without the crowd, there is no show.
That's right.
All right, then talking about the technique of that kick, man, Suman, I don't know, man. I think that's the first time ever I've seen in combat sports. I usually watch that in
I haven't
John
seen a
Claude Van
kick
Damme
I haven't
movies.
seen a kick like that.
Yep.
I've not seen a kick like that.
Wow.
I think it would be a taekwondo technique. Like.
Yes.
He must have a taekwondo. I don't know anything about the fighter himself, but that looked like straight out of a taekwondo textbook to me. That kick, and it was fucking awesome. You know, that got me more interested into Glory, man. You know, watching that kick, that was fucking unreal. That's gonna be one of those kicks that are on a highlight reel for the rest of someone's life, or even on YouTube on like greatest knockout. That was awesome. Anthony Pettis would love that. And Anthony Pettis actually even posted it onto his Facebook. He was like, my type of kick.
Yep. Yeah, that's basically Anthony Pettis' type of kick. And I just want to point out also the way the other dude dropped and he was almost splitting. Oh my god, he just fucking lost control of it, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh fuck.
But hey, another person who got iced, Pat fucking Barry.
Yeah, I'm going to Pat fucking Barry as well as we talk about MMA guys moving into kickboxing. But Pat Barry he did had some kickboxing experience, and I don't know this dude. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but that uppercut just clean cut him, man.
I'll tell you, Pat Barry. My kickboxing instructor, that I spoke to you about, he actually trained with Pat Barry when he was in Holland with Ernesto Hoost and all these guys at Mike's gym and Voss gym. That's where my instructor is from that gym. And he trained with Pat Barry, and he said, man, Pat Barry is like one of the coolest guys in the world. And I asked him about Pat Barry's technique, and he goes, man, Pat Barry's good, right? And he goes, man, he's good. Like, there's no denying that he's good. But as good of a fighter as you are, he goes, it's the same thing. He used to get caught a lot. Now, some fighters are good defensively. Some guys are good attackers. Some guys are all around just real good at technique. Pat Barry is a good attacking fighter. He's not so much good on the back foot. When he gets hit, he kind of goes into his shell a little bit, and we don't see the real Pat Barry. I think another thing that comes up with that as well is his glass chin.
Yeah.
Now, that uppercut would have put anyone out. I'm not going to say that, all right? But it's very, very apparent Pat Barry has a glass chin. We knew that from MMA. When you're fighting at that weight, everyone's like, yeah, you can get knocked out at any time. But, man, I think his chin doesn't have it anymore. I think that especially fighting at a Glory K1 level, man, those guys are fucking beasts. Now, that fight was a reserve for the heavyweights.
Mm-hmm.
The heavyweights including, like, who? Can you name it?
Anderson, Braddock Silva, Sergey Kharitonov, Zimmerman, Ben Edwards.
Yeah, man, like, let me tell you something. Ben Edwards is from Australia.
Yep.
Ben Edwards hits hard. If Ben Edwards put his fists on Pat Barry's chin, the same thing is going to happen. And Errol Zimmerman as well. Same thing, man. If he puts you... He was going into a death trap, and he was asking to be knocked out with those guys. Those guys are some heavy hitters, you know. And I'm not saying Pat Barry's not a heavy hitter, but those guys are, like, in my opinion, now in a different league. It's like when a straight kickboxer comes from to MMA and starts getting tagged and lit up by an MMA guy. It's a different style. Now, he's gone and done the MMA style for a while, and now he's trying to come back. So it's not an easy transition. It's not as easy as people think to just go and come back. Especially, he had one tune-up fight against a guy who was horrible, and he just knocked him out and thought he was king shit again. And then he comes to Glory and gets knocked out in a minute 50, you know, by a guy that no one else knew.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
we know him now, though. We know him now. He's got dynamite in his hands.
Yeah, man, but what I love about the way Glory is that they put on fucking exciting fights. I don't even know most of the guys on the card. And they put on, number one, they put on exciting fights. It's on freaking free TV in America, but in Singapore, of course, you can get it through some streaming shit. You just have to just message me. But anyways, it's on free TV, and they put on fucking exciting fights. It's kickboxing. These guys go to war. And to tell the truth, on Glory 17, you know who they are selling the card, the main event? They are selling the card by two guys who just lost. And I'm telling you, it's gonna fill up the stadium. Everybody's gonna watch the show. It's Pat Barry versus Krokop.
Huh?
Yeah, they're gonna do Pat Barry versus Krokop on Glory 17.
Wait. When's Glory 17?
After Glory 16.
Wait, do we just have Glory 16 or 15 on?
15.
All right, how is Barry able to talk, let alone put on another fight for himself with Croker?
I don't know, but that's what they're going to sell it at. The next Glory is the return of Badahari.
Oh my god.
Right. They are
can't
making all
fucking
the
wait.
right moves, man. I'm telling you, kickboxing is coming back to K1 level back in 2000, 2002. This is the new stuff, man. This is the shit in combat sports right now.
Yeah, it is, man. But like, let me tell you something. As much as it's the shit, it's gonna go up. It's gonna go up, and then we'll be talking about the UFC again.
Yep, that's true.
It just seems like that. It seems like once something gets on a bit of a rise, I swear the UFC is gonna buy Glory. It is too much competition. I'm telling you now, the UFC is gonna fucking buy. Every time competition starts coming up, they're like, yeah, let's go after that one.
You know when UFC is gonna buy Glory? When Overeem signs for Glory.
You reckon, man? Fuck. If Overeem went to Glory right now and fought Gokhan Saki, he would get the fucking shit kicked out of him. I'm telling you now, he can't go back to K1 now. I'm telling you now. After the 2 knockouts that he copped in the UFC, he can't fucking go back and hang with the big boys again. I'm telling you, Gokhan Saki would put his foot so far up Overeem's ass, it's not funny.
I don't know, man, but I just love this free TV model. Even in for One FC in Southeast Asian, if the fight is not being played on the country, let's say on the 30th May, One FC is in Singapore. Singapore TVs won't show it, but everywhere else in Southeast Asia on Star Sports, it's free.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah. It's in the whole of Southeast Asia. I think it even goes to China and maybe
That's
Hong
all,
Kong.
man, get that fucking shit to Australia.
Yeah,
You know, Victor, whoever the fuck is in charge of it, please get that shit to Australia. Because I'll tell you, man, I hate fucking streaming shit on my fucking computer and people saying, oh, you got to give me this credit card detail and that. I'm getting all that shit illegally. Man, please put it on like Fox Sports in Australia or something. I'm telling you right now, One FC was so talked about in Australia between me and my friends and all these guys. Like, we were all like going crazy the next day. Like, did you see that fucking fight, that fight? Man, we were really talking about One FC. Now, it would be great if you guys could stream that in Australia. Trust me, it doesn't cost you a lot. Right?
Actually, One FC does have an internet streaming. It's 10 USD, if I'm not wrong, for the whole show.
Huh?
Yeah, it's 10 USD for the legit.
Oh, on like
Sure.
TV?
No, on the internet.
Nah, see, I want to see it on TV.
That's the thing. That's the thing. That's the thing. I believe that will promote MMA as a sport. If you notice that in Singapore, the guys get UFC for paying a monthly subscription on TV, and it's lesser than what the Americans pay for the pay-per-view, and that's in Singapore. I don't know if that's the case in Australia.
Man, pay-per-view in Australia costs us about $50 per one.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, man, for those bigger UFC events. Man, listen, you know what was real heartbreaking? I don't know if it's going to be happening again. Rebel 1, I thought was going to be streamed live. Man, please, 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 guys, if you're listening to this, Chad, if you're listening to this, Justin, if you're listening to this, please, please stream this shit live, right? The world wants to see it. I'm sure everyone wants to see how the tournament is going to go. And you need to fucking stream that shit. We don't want to wait around. People don't want to wait a month to see it.
Yep,
You know,
it's true.
Stream it and get it in Australia.
Yeah, you can geo-block it in Singapore. It doesn't matter. You just stream it outside of Singapore. I can even do that for you, man.
Yeah, man. It'll
Fuck,
be
I'll
awesome.
I'll do it for free. Fuck.
See that? That's a man on a mission.
Oh man, yeah, I just want to promote the sport. Talking about pay-per-views, Mayweather, Maidana, did you watch that fight?
Yeah, I did, man.
Okay, the thing is, I tell you, when we had the week going in, Pacquiao versus Bradley, everybody was talking about that fight. But the week coming into Mayweather, Maidana, I don't even know there was a Mayweather fight until there was some commercials during the One FC footage, the One FC show, and they showed Mayweather's gonna fight. I don't know who the fuck Maidana is, but that was quite an interesting fight.
It's a great fight. Man, in the first 5 rounds, it just looked like Mayweather didn't want to fight.
Yep, right.
And I don't really think that it was a ploy of his, because I could tell he was getting frustrated. You could really see that he was getting frustrated, and I think Maidana came out with the right game plan. But the hard thing is with that game plan, it's hard to do that over 12 rounds. 12 rounds, man. If you want to fucking do that over 12, I'm surprised Maidana did the 12 rounds, because at that pace that he went at for the 5 rounds that he was going, man, he looked like, I was like, man, fuck, what the fuck's going on? I remember I was sitting and I was with my friends and my cousin and everyone, and we're watching the fights, and we're at the pub, and one of my friends who's a boxing instructor as well, he's a pro boxer, a good friend of mine. I just saw him down there. I was speaking to him. Comes and does a bit of work with our guys in Australian top team. He was looking at me from across the place where we were saying, across the room, and he was like shrugging his shoulder, like he doesn't know what the fuck is going on. Like, it just seemed like Mayweather didn't really want to be there, and then he just turned it on and started finding his range, stopped getting his back taken against the rope, and started finding a good position for that hook, left hook and right straight, and he started landing it. He started looking a lot better. People are saying, oh, Maidana got ripped off and this and that. To be honest, I found the fight 7 rounds to 5 for Mayweather.
Wow.
I think that Mayweather did win that fight, and a lot of people that I was sitting with said the same thing, and even the guy who was freaking out, saying like, man, what's he going? He turned it back on, and we all said, we think he won, but we think it was a close call. Now, when the draw was announced as the first scorecard,
114.
We were not surprised by that at all. We both looked at each other and were like, yeah, it makes sense. A draw could make sense. And then there was another judge. I think they read 118 to 111 Mayweather.
I think it's 116, 111.
Yeah, 116, 111. I don't think it was that far apart, man. I was like, what the fuck? Who the fuck you have? I'm like, what the fuck fight were they watching? The way I looked at it, it was 115, 113 to Mayweather, right? Some people would, but 14-14 sounds, 114, 114 sounds even right to me, I think that Mayweather did win the fight, but I wasn't one of the fucking idiots that posts about it every 2 seconds. The reason I don't post usually about these things on Facebook, right, is because the week leading up to it, now I have a big problem. It's an epidemic in Australia where it comes to the A-League Grand Final, which is our soccer Grand Final. The A-League is the comp that we have on in Australia, right? So it seems like everyone becomes a fan the week of the fight.
Okay, understand.
And then after the fight, after the week of the game. Then after the game, every dickhead has an opinion, and you think to yourself, okay, if you won, he's just jumping on the bandwagon. If you lost, he's just trying to do what every other dickhead is doing on Facebook. So the reason I don't write anything on Facebook is because I'm not the common dickhead. I'm a dickhead on my own sense. You know what I mean? I don't need to write all these statuses about Maidana won this fight. Man, fuck, I think Mayweather won the fight. And in my opinion, no matter what, you test a true champion like this. A true champion, no one knew about Maidana. Now, you cannot take away everyone who says, oh, Mayweather this, Mayweather that. He makes a good point. He versed 26 world champions in the time that he's fought.
Yep.
Now, you cannot take away a 46-0 record from anyone.
Yep.
You can't take that away from anyone. Now, and especially Mayweather, because we all said, oh, I didn't really say it, but I actually thought it as well. I go, maybe Canelo's the man. Maybe he's the man to take it away from him.
Yeah, I thought the same as well.
So, and a lot of people said that. Maybe we got this young, little red-headed Mexican fucking ready to throw down and shit. Now, a lot of people thought that. And he came out and fucking made him look like an amateur for 12 rounds. Yep. You know, just toyed with him for 12 rounds. Like, what else did you want to see? What else did you really expect from Mayweather? In my opinion, he's one of the greatest of all-time boxers. I put him up there, and people will hate me for this. I really do put him up there with Muhammad Ali, Muhammad Ali. I put him up there with Mike Tyson. All my favorite boxers. Man, I think I have a portrait signed by Mayweather in my gym.
Wow.
You know, I'm a big fan of his. I've got Mike Tyson. I've got Bruce Lee. I've got Costa Zoo. I've got Chuck Liddell, Rampage. All these guys. I got BJ Penn. They're authentically signed posters that I've like bought at auctions and things like that. Just 'cause I like that type of stuff. And man, I have a picture of him, and I believe that he's probably one of the pound for pound greatest of all time.
All right.
You know, and then people want to crucify me for that, but man, I think he is, and like people don't like him because he's an arrogant prick or whatever he is, and this and that. He gives respect where it's due.
Yeah, and he comes out with Justin Bieber.
Yeah, okay, Bieber's a little faggot. Let's just don't worry about that. You know, Bieber, I don't know what the fuck is going on with Bieber. You know, man. I don't even want to talk about Bieber. I like Lil Wayne, don't like Bieber. You know, pretty much because he was wearing this little hat that just annoyed the shit out of me, and I wanted to punch him in his face. Right? But besides that, right? He sells the show. You got to, if it wasn't, we've said it before. If it wasn't for Mayweather, boxing would be dead.
Yeah, it's true.
Right?
Frank, your thoughts?
It is true. Boxing would be dead if it wasn't for Mayweather. And he sells the show, he earns his money, and he talks all this stuff before the fight, which is fine. You know, people love to hype up the fight, and then afterwards, he always gives respect where it's due. You know, I think in his post-fight speeches, he always gives his guys credit and says they're a champion and things like that. And I don't think he's as much of a cocky bastard as everyone thinks. I think he's just a showman, you know. That's my opinion. Like, you know, like I said, people agree with me, people won't. People would have said Muhammad Ali's the biggest shit talker when he said he was the greatest before he even knew it, you know. And what happened? People now say Muhammad Ali was the greatest boxer of all time.
Yep.
You know, Mayweather is trying to put himself there. Now, it's not in a disrespectful way, saying he's never said, oh, I'm better than Ali or this or that, but he's taken after his idols. You know what I mean? He's doing the same thing that what he says, Muhammad Ali, one of his biggest idols, he's doing the same thing as he did. You know, he was outspoken. A lot of people didn't like him, but now who's talking shit about Muhammad Ali?
Yeah, man, I totally agree with you, Suman. Frank, what about you? What about your thoughts on Mayweather?
Frank's on.
Yo!
Go.
What's up, boys?
Yeah, Frank, we were talking about Mayweather. What do you think of that guy?
Oh, he's awesome.
Thank you.
What?
Hey, Mohammed, I had a question,
Yeah.
but I didn't know who to call, so I thought I'd call you back.
All right, sure. What's the question?
You know how you mentioned analytics just before?
Analytics, yeah?
How do I? Is an analytic?
Hey, listen, don't interrupt. Mo, can you walk me through it maybe tomorrow? Like, is there some way I can check where all the action's coming from myself?
No, you can't. Only I can. Because I'm the shit.
You're awesome. I fucking love you. Listen, I'll call you tomorrow and we'll have a little chat.
Okay, before you go, thoughts on Justin Bieber.
Oh, he's awesome.
Fuck you. All right, you can get out now. Bye, Frank.
Bye.
Oh, such a troll. Anyways, okay, we move on to boxing, but I just want to point out that if it was an MMA match, Maidana won the fight with a knee and a double leg takedown.
Yeah, hey, I think as well, in my opinion, I think Maidana should have had a point taken away in one of the first 2 rounds. Man, those overhands are illegal as hell in boxing that he threw.
Overhand to the back of the head?
Okay, one, he was overhanding to the back of the head.
Mm-hmm.
Two, he was hitting with his palm. Like he wasn't hitting with the glove part of his hand. He was just throwing it over. And man, he didn't do it once. He didn't do it twice. He threw out 30 of those motherfuckers.
Yep.
You know? And Tony Weeks didn't even really say anything. He said, "Oh, don't hit the back of the head once." And then, man, I thought it was real close to getting a fucking point taken away. And I think he should have had a point taken away. But like, let me tell you something.
Yep.
I've never seen Maidana. I mean, I've never seen Mayweather like that. You know what I mean? I think Maidana really threw him off his game. I think that he took it really to him. I think it was fucking awesome to see. You know, and anyone who doubted Maidana, man, the guy's 35-3. All right.
Yeah, he defeated Adrian Broner.
Yeah, he demolished Adrian Broner. He made Adrian Broner look silly. Dropped him in the second and the eighth.
Yep.
You know, he killed the guy who said he's gonna be the next Mayweather. Right? You got to remember something. He's 35-3. Take away the 3 losses. Don't even worry about him.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the 35 fights that he's won. He's knocked out 31 of them. You know what I mean? You can't deny this guy's fucking power and danger. You know what I mean? He presented a big problem to Mayweather, and Mayweather took some big shots and kept coming.
Yeah, man. Because I think that of course the rematch would be a good hype and everything, and the hype train will be this time on Maidana, like what they did for Canelo, saying he's the closest to dethrone Mayweather. He's gonna be the new king. But in the end, I think Mayweather is gonna win again.
If they do that that rematch, Mayweather will win in a better way than he did.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's basically what I thought. So but I see this is where the money is gonna go. Who else? Amir Khan or Manny Pacquiao? But right now with Maidana in the role, I don't think they want to let that money pass, man.
You think they're gonna make the Maidana fight happen again?
Yeah, I think they're gonna do that again, and it's an advantage to Mayweather. It's advantage for boxing. Boxing is gonna be a bit bigger for that.
I was running today. When I was running, I was speaking to someone about it when we were having a chat when we were running about what we think is gonna happen. I don't think they're gonna do a rematch. I think that Amir Khan will be next
with Mayweather.
With Mayweather. Now, in my opinion, Amir Khan did great in his fight, but he makes a lot of critical mistakes. Now, Amir Khan tries to sometimes fight a bit like Mayweather, right? But man, you play into Mayweather's game, I think Mayweather will eat Amir Khan up. I don't think Amir Khan has the style to really break Mayweather. I think a rough guy like we saw Maidana do, put him in a fucking corner, swing for the fucking fences and try and take his head off. That's what's going to really do it. I think if anyone can do it, it's Pacquiao. You know? And if anyone can do it, it's Pacquiao. Pacquiao's style really gets to Mayweather. Now, I think that they're going to do Amir Khan next. I think Mayweather's going to walk all over him, make another 36 million.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to, in his last fight, man, he's only got 2 fights left.
Yep.
And we know he's not going to be fighting after those 2 fights.
Yep.
He's got 2 fights left to make all his money and do everything. In his last fight, he's going to do the super fight with Mayweather, with Pacquiao.
I'm hoping for that, man.
I think there's too much money to be made on that fight for someone, a big enough gambler like fucking Mayweather not to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The money on there's gonna be side money apart from that 36 million. And if you're getting side money on top of 36 million, fuck me, you lucky prick. You know, like we were talking about it on our run. We're like, man, what the fuck would we do for 36 million? And I say a lot of crazy shit on this show, and I cannot name it. You know, I'm like. One of the kids was like, man, I'll slap my mum for 36 million. I'm like, that's a bad motherfucker. I'm like, you're crazy, man. I'm like, you're crazier than me. My mum will beat the fuck out of me.
Alright.
That's, in my opinion, that's what's going to happen. I think we're going to see Amir Khan next and we're going to see Pacquiao last. I really hope we see Pacquiao last. Man, I think that would be the fucking... I think that would be what... no one can deny. I think it will be one of the greatest boxing, like one of the biggest fights in the history of boxing.
Yeah, man, that would be the only fight in boxing that I really would vest my interest in.
Yeah.
To tell the truth, Mayweather American does not excite me. Mayweather Maidana too wouldn't excite me, but Mayweather Pacquiao, that would fucking excite me. Boxing, moving from boxes moving to MMA. You saw the fight that Anna Julaton versus Aya Said Saber. Okay, to tell the truth, this girl, Anna Julaton, was the first ever Filipino American to win two WBA and WBC titles, if I'm not wrong, in Showtime.
Yep.
So I was expecting, you know, you are set up with Aya Said Saber, who was in a 3-fight losing streak in Super Fight League in India, and we know, we will be honest, we know what
Finally
kind.
speak.
What kind of level is in India. And I was expecting Julaton to just box her way through, but is it that difficult for boxers to transition into MMA as we've seen in that fight? And
I'll tell you
he's a
something.
pro champ boxer as well.
Yeah, it really is. It's that big of a difference. The MMA striking is very, very different to boxing striking, man. A conventional boxer, and why did Mayweather get thrown off with those overhands?
Yep.
Because it's not conventional. It's not what you're really taught. Now, we know that the striking of MMA is a lot more wild. If you can be composed with little gloves and maybe slip a few of those punches, get a few punches in, and you're really that calm, you can make it work to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
But those overhands land every now and then. It's a much wilder fight. It's not as crisp as boxing. MMA striking is not as crisp as boxing. Now, it's not always the fighter who's flashy and moves well that wins the fight. It's sometimes the one who's aggressive and moves forward and swings those hard right hands. Now, I'll refer to another fight that was on the One FC card. Rob Lisita versus Yusuke. Now, have you watched other videos of Yusuke?
Yeah.
Have you seen how good his boxing is?
Yep.
Now, who do you think is a better boxer?
Yusuke and Rob.
Yeah.
I would say Yusuke.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Right. But why did he get caught with that hand? Because Rob does not give a fuck. And that's the most simple way I can put it. He does not care. Now, if you're a badass fucking MMA fighter like Rob, you walk forward and you swing, you don't give a fuck. Now, that is why the conventional MMA fighter could beat the boxer in a striking match even. They might not outstrike them, but they can certainly knock them out. You know? So that's why it's a bit different. Your game plan has to be a bit different. You can't just go out there and keep your hands up real tight like a boxer. You can get taken down easier. If you stand too far to the side looking to land a big jab or something, you can get your single leg taken easy. It's a different stance. It's a different everything.
Yeah, dude. When I was looking at that fight, I was thinking, oh man, I think Amy Adam could beat Anna Julaton.
Man, let me tell you something. Amy Adam can give it to a lot of girls in MMA.
Oh man. All right. Moving on to the first. If I'm not wrong, this is the first knockout of the night. Leandro Ataides versus Tatsuya Mizuno.
Man, Leandro.
I know you don't know much about this guy, and I told you he's a fucking beast.
He chased that motherfucker around the ring, beat the shit out of him. I was like, man, this motherfucker wants to fucking kill this guy. I've never seen. Hey, we were talking about it today as well when we were doing wrestling. If you see a big black guy running at you, you're gonna run.
Yep.
And that's. I was running with Sam K. And then we were running past this guy who was about to get into his car. We saw him from a distance, maybe like 30 meters away. And he stood there with the keys in his hand and didn't unlock his car as he saw us running. And it wasn't me that he was scared of. He saw this big 100-kilo black guy running towards him, and he's like, motherfucker, what are you doing? I don't want to unlock my car right now in case this big black guy beats me up. If I see a big black man chasing across the cage, I would shit myself too. And I think that's what happened in this case.
The thing is, the problem is there's not much depth in the middleweight division. I'm hoping that they bring Melvin Manhoef back and fight Leandro, and I think that main event itself could sell.
two black guys running around at each other.
Yeah.
I don't know who doesn't want to see that.
Yeah, because the thing is, Leandro is a pure Nogi world champion, BJJ world champion, solid black belt in BJJ. But when he is in the cage, he don't display BJJ much. He will just run and chase you, and it was the same as his previous fight with Brian Rafik. And I have a feeling, even if they put Melvin Manhoff, who just destroyed Evangelista Cyborg last two weeks ago, Leandro is going to do the same thing. He's not going to shoot for the takedown and do all his BJJ stuff. He's going to run after Manhoff and try to knock him out as well.
Yeah, man. If anyone who man, I didn't know anything about him before this event, but fuck, man, I'm gonna remember his name from now. What's he now? 7-0?
Yep.
Man, he's dangerous. He looks dangerous in that middleweight division, man. I really, really would love to see him fight someone like Melvin Manhoff. Might be a bit too early for him to... But then again, if you're a smart man, you'll take Melvin Manhoff down. Now, a BJJ world champion, Nogi world champion, should probably be smart and not run at Melvin Manhoff like Mark Hunt did. So, probably... I think that fight will be one of those fights that we say right now we'd love them to chase after each other, but I think that... I don't think Leandro would do such a thing. I don't think he's that dumb.
Yeah, but Tatsuya is not a joke either, man. This guy been in the ring with Krokop, Babalu, Gegap Musashi. So for Leandro to just chase this experienced veteran down, oh man, I just need to see some bigger names. Like, I don't want to see Leandro versus Brock Lesnar or something.
man.
That's the thing. It's either want to see get more middleweights in, or they give me Leandro versus Melvin Manhoff and I'll be fucking happy.
Yeah, man, Melvin Manhoff. I was looking at Melvin Manhoff the other day, and I'm like, man, fuck it. I don't give a shit about his record. I don't give a shit if he's lost. I want to see him in like the biggest organizations in the world, and like whether it's fucking the UFC, whether it's One FC, whether it's Rebel FC. Man, I want to fucking watch Melvin fight, because as soon as he fucking fought Cyborg, I was onto that shit straight away, and I was cheering him on. He's my fucking idol.
Alright, so one quick knockout, then we move to another quick knockout, Mcsweeney versus Chris Lokteff. I just want to take you up on that, because the thing is, me, Anon and Major was taking Chris Lokteff, and you are the only guy who takes Mcsweeney, so a big fuck you to all three of us. Suman.
Hey man, hey, I'll tell you something. I picked like against all of you guys for every pick.
Yeah, almost every pick.
Almost every pick. You know, the only one I think I agreed with you all was Rob and Bibiano.
Bibiano, yep.
But like, that's the thing, you know. The Gianni fight a bit to me was a bit of a letdown, because I thought I'd see more.
Same here.
Man,
it was a boring fight.
Yeah, man, I really thought I'd see more from that fight, especially from two bangers, as we've seen.
Yeah, man.
They go for it, and I was really disappointed with that fight. But then, like I said, man, Mcsweeney is a changed fighter. And I think he's shown that. I think he's got the athletic ability that sets him apart from other heavyweights in the world.
Mm-hmm.
He may have a 13-11 record, but I think at one stage in his career it was like 5-9.
Yep.
So I think he's really turned his career around. He's now acquired his purple belt in BJJ. He got it, I think, under Robert Drysdale. He's with Greg Jackson's camp when he's in America, and he's with Phuket Top Team before a lot of his fight camps. Man, I've heard nothing but good things about Mcsweeney, and that's why I believe. And it wasn't just a PTT connection that I picked that fight. I really heard some awesome things about Mcsweeney, and I really thought that he was going to win it, and I knew that his athletic ability would get it. And I actually said to a friend of mine that I thought he was going to finish the fight with a body kick. You know? So, and it nearly got to that. I think the body kicks will hurt him and set up the flying knee knockout.
Yep. That flying knee was just damn beautiful.
I don't know. Have you seen many fucking heavyweights jump like he did?
No. Maybe in Glory when Anderson bred out, but that was after he did the flying knee.
Yeah, man. But like, that's the thing, man. Mcsweeney is legit. Like, I think that he'll take out any of the One FC heavyweight division, which I think isn't a strong division. isn't a strong division at all.
Yeah, that's true, man. Because everyone is talking about. I don't know if you know Paul Chung.
I hadn't heard of him, but then I looked him up whenever he's 4-1.
Yep, 4-1.
I
Just
looked him
beat.
up after. I think you guys put it up matches to make, and then I saw his name, and then I kind of did a bit of research on him. I didn't know him before that though.
But I don't think it would be a good fight. What I think would be a good fight would be if Ellen Galani wins in Singapore. That would be a good fight. It would be both pure stand-up, and it would be both kickboxing. So that would be a fucking electrifying fight. Ellen Galani versus James Mcsweeney. And I think James Mcsweeney gonna beat the
I
crap
think he'll
of
take over
Ellen
the
Galani.
division.
Yep. And then we can see maybe Paul Chung with someone else. But I don't want to see Paul Chung versus Ellen Galani.
I think it's a bit soon for him.
McSweeney. Yep. Nope. From that knockout, we move to another PTT knockout. Rob, Lisita, Yusuke, Kawanago. I rewatched the previous fight quite a few times, and you pointed out to me a very interesting factor about ring and cage. And I was thinking that, I was trying to play the fight through my mind. I was like thinking, okay, this is gonna be a 3-round war, and Lisita's gonna edge out in the end, maybe get a knockout in the 3rd round. What happened just was like totally unexpected. Like Yusuke don't even put up a fight, man.
That's it. Man. Rob said it before, and he said it again straight after the fight. He's in the best form of his life. He's never felt better. He reckons that if there's a time that people should fucking fear and not want to fight him, it's right now. He's fought 4 top guys, man. I don't know if have you heard of I'm sure you've heard of Rodolfo Marquez. Man, Rodolfo Marquez, right? He was 14-1. He was Jose Aldo and Helen Barra's main training partner.
Yep.
They brought him over to Australia with all this hype. No one wanted to fight the guy, right? Rob fucking knocked him the fuck out. 14-1, one of the top prospects and featherweights around the world, right? Rob knocked him out. Rob went on and fought Lion Takeshi, a guy that had never been finished, right? And what did Rob do? Rob fucking bulldog choked him. And then he went against Yusuke, who actually beat Rob before, and you know what? I would say, is it karma? No, I wouldn't say it's karma. But I would point that Yusuke is what turned everything around for Rob.
Yep.
The loss to Yusuke has just given him a fuel that he's determined. He's determined, and man, you can see it. He goes. Who have you seen go after the finish more than him? He always goes for it, and he puts on entertaining fights, whether he gets bloodied, bruised, or whatever it is, and he comes out and gets one of the fastest TKOs in One FC history.
Yeah, that's true, man. Not to put down his aggressiveness and his in-your-face fighting style, but what I want to point out is that impressive timing. Exactly, he knows exactly when Yusuke was going to give the knee. And just before Yusuke could even lift that knee, that left hook came to the face. That was perfect timing, man.
I'll tell you something. The left hook of Rob is one of his best weapons. I've felt it many, many times, and unexpected times. You know what I mean? It's one of his go-to punches. It's not, as much as everyone's like, oh, Rob's a brawler. He's a very, very smart brawler. Even though he takes a lot of hits, his timing on when to hit you is much further than your timing to hit him.
Yeah, man. And I had some offline inbox disputes with who's going to be next for Rob, because I want him with Koji right now. If you look at Fight Metric, which Rob just posted out, he's like the number 57 fighter in the world right now in his weight class. I've looked through the whole Fight Metric status, and of the top 5 fighters fighting in the Asian scene, in that division, number 1 is Shinya Aoki. But I don't think Shinya is gonna make featherweight again. So number 2 is Koji Oishi, who is the One FC featherweight champ. Number 3 is Joakim Hansen, Bad Boy, Hellboy fighting in Rogue
Well, he's not in One
Road
FC,
FC.
so yeah, that takes him out. Yep.
Yep. And number 4 is Kauno fighting in Shuto.
Yep.
And number 5 is Rob.
Number 5 is right. So we have to give him Koji.
No, we have to give him Koji. The thing is, everybody is saying that, you know, since on the 30th May, ex-champ Honorio is going to fight Nadamba. And Nadamba is fucking legit, man. He beat Adrian Pang. He beat Yu Chil Nam in Legend. And they say the winner should fight Rob. I say no fucking way. The way Rob just destroyed Yusuke, and after the way Koji destroyed Honorio, that will be the fight that makes more money and makes more sense.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah, you just put on those two highlights together, two guys with knockout power. That's it. Just make that title fight happen now. You don't wait.
Honorio, I can't even pronounce that motherfucker's name. Honorio, and how do you pronounce his name?
Nadamba.
Nadamba.
Yep.
Right. I look at his name and it's fucking the tongue twister. I don't even bother. That guy. Yeah. Honorio Nadamba. Is that on the 30th of May?
Yes, it's on the 30th of May.
Okay. See, it's on the 30th of May, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, 30th of May, anything can happen. They can get injured or they can get knocked out. They're out. Blah 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 blah
Yep.
blah blah blah. Now, Koji, when's he back? When he hasn't fought, has he?
Okay, the scoop I have is that next month, One FC going to Jakarta. So do it. Koji versus Lisita in
Man,
Jakarta.
let me
Do
tell you
it.
something. Rob, if there's a time to jump on Rob, don't give him time in between fights. He doesn't want time in between fights. He doesn't want to wait around for his opponent. He wants to fight as soon as possible. You know what I mean? And I think he's earned a shot at the belt. And know some other people would be like, oh yeah. Someone else said on Facebook, oh, how can he come and have one win and then get a shot at the belt? And I made the point about Askren. You know, and you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know.
He made, and then what did he say? He said, I made a great point. If Askren walks in and beats this guy that no one's ever fucking heard of, no one can deny the fact of him getting a title shot. Now, what makes Askren so different from Rob Lisita, who actually, forget the record, puts on exciting fights, unlike that other boring fuck. You know what I mean?
Who's going to face the toughest fight of his career? Fuck off.
Please. Man, Rob deserves this shot, right? He proved it by coming in. He's taken over that division, and why shouldn't finishing fights in such a devastating fashion be rewarded? You know, who gives a fuck who the fuck Ben Askren is? You know, like no, I don't care. I don't care that he's 12 or 13 and 0 and he was the Bellator champ. That doesn't mean shit to me. Put on an exciting fight. You know, and that's what it's about for me. Put on an exciting fight. In my opinion, Koji versus Rob, I really, truly believe that Rob's going to be the next One FC champion.
Do it, man. I'm telling you, Koji versus Rob could be almost identical for the first and the first few minutes of Takeshi versus Rob.
Koji isn't injured, right?
Nope.
He's not injured, right? So there's nothing really holding him back.
Yep.
Now Rob just finished the fight in 28 seconds. He's fine. He's already said it. He goes, he's ready to go. No injuries. His hands are fine. His feet are fine. He's good. Doesn't have a broken nose. Doesn't have a broken rib. Doesn't have a stitches in his face for once in his life. Man, he's ready to go. Make the fight happen.
Yeah, man. Let's go.
Man.
Go.
Everyone, Australia is going fucking wild. Australia is going crazy. Rob Lisita is right now the hottest prospect. No, I'll take that back. He's not a prospect.
Mm-hmm.
He is now the most talked about Australian fighter. You know, for us Aussies, we don't care about the guys in the UFC right now. Man, guys are talking about Rob. Guys are inboxing me, fucking saying, guys that I don't even talk to that much are messaging me, okay, yeah, man, your boy Rob did so well, man. Fuck. Motherfuckers, don't jump on his hype train now. Should have been on it long before. I said it for a long time. He said it for a long time. You know, yeah, if you guys want to jump on the bus, but you should have been there earlier, and we'll remember the ones that weren't there, the ones that put him down, you know. and said all this shit.
You know, it would be a different story if it was a 3-round war and Rob won by decision, or even if it was a 3-round war and Rob finished exactly the way he finished his fight. But he finished it in 28 seconds. It's time for the belt. That's it. That just proves it, man.
Yeah, man.
Like, what else does this guy have to do?
I don't know. I don't know.
Come on. For me,
Like, I don't want to see Rob on the shelf right now. I do not want to see. Honestly, I think Rob's back in Thailand now. I love Rob to death, man. He's a cool guy. There's no one I love training more than him, man. If you ask Rob, I get the shit beaten out of me by Rob in sparring, right? And he always looks at me and wonders why I'm smiling, right? And it's not that, like, it's not a smile of anything. It's just that I like training with the guy. Now, I hope he doesn't come back to Australia, because when he comes here, he trains on my gym at Australian top team. I hope he doesn't come back here. I hope he stays in Thailand and fucking gets his shot in the next month or next 8 weeks, man. That's what I want for him, and I think that he deserves it, man. He makes a lot of sacrifices being away from his family and being in Thailand for all that time and putting the work in, and he's looked better and better and better and better. So give Rob Lisita the title shot. Rob Lisita versus Koji makes sense. It's gonna make money. Australia's gonna be behind it. The world wants to see that fight. You want One FC to be legit. You want to fucking. That's a main event to me.
Yep.
To me, that's a main event.
That's a fucking main event.
I don't think Askren versus an unknown is a fucking main event against the toughest fight of his fucking life. Please, man, Rob Lisita versus Koji. That is a fucking main event. And motherfuckers, give him a bonus. He deserves it. Yeah. Rant over.
All right. Moving on from Lisita, Joshua versus Ray. It was a pretty awesome fight. I nominated it as fight of the night. Too bad I can't get any visuals on it. What do you think about that fight?
Yeah, man. Joshua Alvarez. I tipped him to win, but he seemed to just get out grappled.
Yeah, he nearly got the rear naked choke in the first round.
Yeah, you know, he nearly did, but nearly always isn't enough for that. Fight. It was a 3-round war to me, you know. I think there was a time it was back and forth, and then Alvarez just seemed to just die.
Yep, in the third round.
Yeah, man. Like, I don't know. Would you say it was a cardio issue? I just think that he just looked like he wanted a way out, but he didn't give up. You know, he didn't give up. He just kept going. But it was a great fight.
Yeah, to tell you the truth, in the first round, I was pretty nervous when Josh was on Ray's back. Then there was one point of time, instead of putting two arms on one hand, Ray actually put his arm to try and pry off Josh body triangle lock on with the legs, and I was like, fuck, man, Josh gonna win like this, and Suman's gonna get another prediction. So. Yeah.
Listen, you know what? But you know what? I'm really gonna do. I'm gonna stop fucking predicting. With
Oh,
my
come on!
I'm gonna stop fucking. You know what? Because people think that I don't know my thing. Man, I like to have fun with fights, man. I bet on I bet on the UFC fights and boxing fights all the time and shit like that. I like to have fun with it. Like, I don't think favorites are a thing to me. If someone has a cool name, I like to go for them. I'm just hoping they win. But people are starting to think I don't know my shit, right? So I'm gonna start like making some serious picks. There was some serious picks in there, but there was a few that I was just like, I just hope he wins. You know what I mean?
I understand.
I'm not gonna do that anymore. So next time around, man, I saw you, Major, everyone. You fucking got 8 out of 9. I'm gonna get better than Major at least on the next. I'm getting better than Major. That's all. That's all.
Well, the thing I'm gonna tell you is that the way One FC set up their fights is actually quite easy to predict.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. So
that's why I like going for like the other guys.
So that's the fucked up part. But in the end, even though it was easy to predict, like Josh and Ray, you look at Folayang and Boku. Despite us knowing that Folayang's gonna win that fight, it was an entertaining fight as well.
Yeah, man. Boku had his moments. And he just didn't kind of capitalize on them.
Yeah, I freaked out when Boku pulled out 10 Planet JJ in first round. There was rubber guard to mission control.
Yeah, man. Trust me, more guys are doing it than you think. More guys are doing it than you think. It's going around, but hey, it's awesome.
All right, man. Moving to the uneventful main event. It was it was fucking
It's a
once.
letdown. Bibiano, finish a fight.
Yeah, that's the thing. The thing is, Euda totally deserved to fight Bibiano after winning the bantamweight Grand Prix. I was expecting a bit more grappling battle from Euda, a bit more dominance in ground at least, but I feel Bibiano was just too good, too smart, and too safe.
And it just seemed like a walk through the park for him. It looked like he was sparring.
Yeah, man. It was like,
I want to see something more than that. You know, and it's not anything taken away from the fighter. Euda deserve, like you said, deserved his spot.
mhm.
And Bibiano is Bibiano. We all know Bibiano, and Bibiano's legit.
Yep.
He's one of the top bantamweights in the world, and probably the best bantamweight in the world, I think, outside the UFC.
Mhm.
And he's legit, but I don't know if you know what it is. It's sometimes when you know how good you are, you kind of under prepare. You're just like, I'm gonna beat this guy, and I think that could have possibly happened, because I think Bibiano should have been able to finish that fight whenever he wanted, the way that it was going. You know, he just seemed like he was on top of it all.
Yep.
You know? And it sucks when a guy's just, let's just say, he even though it wasn't eventful, he was still dominant.
Yep.
In his sense, you know, and he won every round, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yes.
Yeah, every round was given to him by the judges. Man, if you're winning every round, you should have an opportunity to finish at some stage. There has to be an opening, and it wasn't really from Euda's toughness that we didn't see him not get the thing. I just think that seemed like he didn't really go for the finish.
Yeah, man, which is a big worry because most of the One FC fighters are almost in that stage. Aoki 155 champ. If he meets someone like that, I don't think. I just think Aoki is just gonna hum the shit out of the other guy. Then of course Ben Askren is gonna do the same, and these are the champions that you have, and you'll be stuck with them.
Yeah, man, I think fucking.
That's why.
Listen, I'll say Shinya is someone like I don't give a fuck. I'm a big Shinya fan, so I wouldn't really say anything about Shinya.
I was a
Ben
big
Askren-
Shinya fan, man. But did you see his fight with Cody Stevens?
Cody Stevenson, yeah.
Oh, come
Man,
on, that was a fucking boring fight.
It was a horrible fight. You know
Yeah.
why? Because Shinya should have been able to finish Cody within the first round. Cody's not up to Shinya's level. I don't even know how the fuck that fight happened.
Precisely.
I really don't see why the fuck that fight happened. I think it was a bit of a yeah, let's just put that cunt in there and have a fight. But I know a lot of other guys that could have given Shinya a bigger run than fucking Cody did.
But out of the disappointing stuff, I'm telling you, 66 kilos in Asia. The 145 in Asia is fucking exploding. We got Rob, we got Koji, and we're going to have an explosive 66 Honorio versus Nadamba fight in 30th. And then on August 1st, we're going to have a 66 tourney, which features Miguel Torres, Will Chope, Mark Tobin, and other guys who I think would actually really explode up the scene. Like before that, before Rebel got Alberto Mina, who knows him? Now he's in the UFC. So I have a feeling some of the guys that are under the radar are going to explode up as well. And 66 in Asia right now is the shit.
Let's remember, I'm a 66 kilo. I can fight at bantamweight. But I'd rather not. I've made bantamweight before, but I just don't like fighting there. So, hey, I'm a 66 kilo fighter too, and one day I'll explode on the scene. You know, hopefully. So hey, let me tell you something. I think everyone's like, oh, what weight division do you like to watch? Even in the UFC, man, I say the 145 division. And it's not just because it's my own division, like a division of guys my weight. It just seems like, man, since the WEC and the UFC formed, the 145s around the world are taking over. They're becoming more exciting and everything like that. 135 and 145 is just entertaining as fuck.
Yep.
To me. We're seeing the other weight divisions die out, but the 145 division is stayed strong, you know, and 135 division is getting stronger, you know.
I don't know about 135, man. I just want Dominic Cruz back.
Oh man, please! I would love to see him back. Like, even though he pulls out a decision, I just like watching him fucking hop around the fucking ring and take perfect angles with his striking. I like watching Dominic Cruz fight. I wish to see him back. I'm happy that the belt got taken off him. Man, it's been too long out of the game for him to hold the belt. But I don't really want to see Dominic Cruz come back into the division and fight
Burrow.
Against Burrow straight away. I think after how long has it been now? 2.5 years?
Yeah, 2.5 years.
2.5 years out of the game. For you to come back for your comeback fight straight away into a title fight, 5 rounds with fucking Burrell, I don't think we're gonna get a full showing of who he is. Now, put him in with fucking Faber again. Put him in with someone else like that. If he gets past that, even if he looks like crap, then you can give him a title shot, and at least he got some experience before heading into that fucking beast that we call Burrell. You know what I mean? Or maybe even Dillashaw.
Yeah, man, UFC is dying to get Cruz back. They just need to get Cruz back, because if Burrell beats Dillashaw, which he probably will, then after that Faber beats another guy, then we're gonna see Faber Burrell again. Then after that Burrell beats another guy, then Faber beats another guy, then we're gonna see Faber Burrell again.
I really want to be you know what I really want to be though? I really want to be the guy that tips Dillashaw and like Dillashaw wins, and then I'll be like, I told all you motherfuckers. I just want to be that guy, you know?
Yeah, I'm hoping, man, that something, but Burrell is just too good, I feel, for Dillashaw.
Burrell's too quick. Fuck,
yeah, man.
Jiu Jitsu is amazing.
But it's gonna be an awesome fight.
It's gonna be. Listen, I said before, I think that TJ Dillashaw is a fucking awesome opponent. He's looked better and better and better in his last 3 fights, last 2 fights, man. His striking is on a different level now that he's been with Dwayne Ban Ludwig.
Yep.
His striking, I think his style is so much more crisp, so much more technically strong. He's an amazing wrestler and a good grappler too. Man, I think that it's the fight to make. Now, I'd really like to see a video of how Dillashaw does against Faber in the training room, you know, to see kind of where that fight's gonna go. But you never know. Someone can look real good to you, and then they can get in the ring with someone like Renan Barão, and he can make you look real average.
Yep.
You know, so I really don't know what to expect from that fight, because I think that Dillashaw has great technique, great skills, and can be a 135 champion of the UFC. But fuck, man, how do you unlock the mystery of Renan Barão?
I don't know, man. I'm just hoping Dillashaw do those pretty awesome Superman to high kick combos that he likes to do. Oh man, but
do a fucking Superman against Barão, and you're gonna get spinning back fists in the head, you know? That motherfucker's crazy.
Yeah, but talking about 135, we move on to 145. 145 is still exciting as shit. We're gonna get Aldo versus Mendes. And not only that, Cub Swanson is rising up the ranks. Dustin Poirier is raising up the ranks. 145 is the shit, man, right now.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I'm sure you watched it, man. I was real excited to see that Mendes versus Jose Aldo fight. I think that, like, I don't know. I've got this weird feeling that Jose Aldo, as much as I love him in that, is due for a loss.
Really?
Yeah, man. As good as I think he is, man, I think that he's due for a loss.
No, I think it's gonna be a tough fight, but Jose Aldo's
I think it's
leg
gonna
kicks.
be a tough fight, right?
Yep.
But here's the thing with that. I don't think anyone can really match Jose Aldo's speed. You know? And that's what sets him apart. He might not be a better wrestler than people, but he's fucking quicker than most people in that division. And it's hard to be quick in the 145 division in the UFC. You got a lot of quick guys.
Yep.
Now, I think that's what his speed is what sets him apart. And his game plan is always pretty much the same. He goes out there, he makes people respect his hands first. Once they start respecting his hands, he starts laying on those fucking quick kicks that you just can't seem to catch.
Yep.
I think that since Mendes had lost to Jose Aldo the last time, he's become a better fighter. he's had a few fights and not really versed top level guys and kind of got his title shot. But I think that he has the style that could beat him. If anyone does. His striking, again, just like TJ Dillashaw, is completely different to the last time he fought against Jose Aldo. You know, anyone can see in the last 5 fights he's had, or 4 fights he's had an incredible change in his striking style. It's a lot stronger, a lot more powerful, a lot more quicker. I think he's got the style. Now, Cub Swanson, I don't see beating Jose Aldo. I don't see Dustin Poirier even beating Jose Aldo. Especially, I was happy with the fight that Dustin Poirier had with Akira, but it didn't blow me away.
Yep.
You know, to give him a title shot or anything like that. I think he walks through those guys. I think a guy like Mendes is the one who could take it away from Jose Aldo. But then again, just like Burrell, every time you fucking doubt him and think, could this be the one? It never seems to be. I think Mendes has the style. I think Jose will still get his hand raised. But man, I think that if anyone can take it to Jose, it is Mendes, not any of the other. I don't think that any of the other guys could lay a finger on Jose.
That's true, man. All right, quickly.
Look at the way everyone spoke about Lamas so much. Look at the way he made Lamas look.
Oh, come on. Who said Lamas could beat Jose Aldo?
Man, holy shit!
Really?
I had so many people think, like, because people know I'm a big Jose fan, and they were like, man, Lamas is gonna give it to him. I was sitting with this little motherfucker next to me. I was about to slap him. The amount that he was saying, he tried to tell me that Lamas had won a few rounds in there.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, man, I thought it was fucking ridiculous. Lamas came in with the wrong motherfucking game plan. And that's to be very nice to him. He came in with the wrong game plan. The game plan is not to fucking sit and strike with fucking
Yep.
with Jose Aldo. It's to try and push the pace as much as he does. Press him against our fans, put him down and grind him out, because that's how I see him losing. I don't see Jose getting knocked out by anyone. Right?
Give props for Lamas for trying to put it up a stand-up fight and taking up all that leg kicks. But seriously, even before the fight was booked, I never thought. Who would think that Lamas could win? Oh, come on.
A bunch of fucking retards that don't know.
All right, man. Quickly, next week we got Matt Brown versus Erick Silva, UFC 40. How do you think the fight gonna go? I think it's gonna be exciting, man.
I think it's gonna be exciting as shit. But I think Silva's gonna win that fight. He hasn't strung together proper back-to-back wins in the UFC, has he, Silva?
No.
Man, I think it's fucking about time that he does that. I think that he's an explosive striker, and he has what it takes to beat Brown. Now, I think that Brown is obviously a grinder as well, but he's got some fucking hands on him.
Yeah, he got hands, man.
I think this makes for fight of the night. I think it does make for fight of the night. We know that Erick Silva is going to take the fight to him. I think that this fight could end in devastating fashion, but I think that we're going to see Silva get his hand raised at the end of this. I don't know if you feel the same way, but I think that Matt Brown's been out for a while.
Yep.
Erick Silva came into the octagon in his last fight, made it look too easy, and yeah, I think the same thing's going to happen in his next fight. I don't think he'll walk through Matt Brown, but I think he'll have it'll be an exciting fight. There'll be some highlight reels in that fight.
What I think is that Matt Brown could pull a stun gun on Erick Silva.
He could pull a stun gun,
Yep.
but I don't think we thought the stun gun could have even stun gunned fucking Silva.
Yeah, because after that experience, and we know how Matt Brown's have leather in his hands, I think he could catch Silva with one, and Silva could just drop.
Yeah, man. Oh fuck. I don't want to see that. You know how much it broke my heart to see fucking stun gun knockout Silva. I was in shock when I saw that. I was like, holy fuck, did that just happen? And I think, you know what? I'll tell you something.
What?
I saw stun gun have one of the most incredible knockouts.
Yep.
That in UFC history, in my opinion.
Yes.
One of the most
the spinning
incredible
elbow. Yep.
Yeah, man, one of the most incredible knockouts I've ever seen. And we saw him in his last fight fucking come out swinging for the fences. I think that knockout to Erick Silva could be the downfall of
Stun gun.
the stun gun. Man, once you knock a guy out, it becomes an addiction. And sometimes it's not the smartest thing to do. Now, I really think, man, you can see he's explosive and he can knock guys out. But sometimes when you keep trying to do that, man, it could work out of your favor and you go away from what made you such a dominating grappler. I think that if he goes away too much from that and doesn't mix it up, he could be in some trouble with some guys and he could let a few fights slip away from him. You know, and trying to get into those battles of just brawling. Because he's not the most technical striker, but he pulls off shit because he's so aggressive. Now, being over aggressive sometimes can get you caught, man. And I think that Stun Gun really needs, if he wants to keep going the way he's going, which is on a great, is it a 2-fight knockout streak?
Yeah, 2-fight knockout streak. Silva and Hathaway.
Yeah, man. If you want to keep going the way you're going and just keep winning, you got to mix it up. Mix up your fucking incredible grappling, man. I think Stun Gun's got awesome grappling. You know, he just knows how to grind motherfuckers out and make it a dogfight and make it so dirty for them and make it so uncomfortable for them. And we like watching the exciting Stun Gun.
Yep.
It's great for us fans, but then at the same time, for him, it might not be the smartest choice in the long run.
Yeah, the smartest choice for him is stop talking to your fiancé or girlfriend while you are in the cage fighting.
Don't talk to women when you're in the cage.
and number 2 would be listen to Dujin Ha. He's a fucking good coach. He knows what to do.
Yeah, man.
Another fight which I would like to put up the highlights, and I think is going to be a good fight as well, will be Darren Cruikshank versus Erick Koch.
Oh, yeah, man. Darren Cruikshank, in his last fight, looked the best that he has in the UFC.
Yep.
He's got these awesome spin kicks. He's got all these fucking karate techniques. He's like the white Lyoto Machida of that division.
Yes.
Right? Man, he's in and out so quick. He's grappling, not that great. But he looked a lot better against the guy that didn't really look like he wanted to fucking take him down. Mike Rio?
Yes.
Did not look like he... I don't know what the fuck was going through your head in the first round. Shoot! You know, you're not a striker. And I don't know why he didn't try and shoot on him earlier, but man, fuck. I like watching the guy strike, and Erick Koch as well. We haven't seen too much of him or heard too much of him in the UFC when he was meant to fucking fight Jose Aldo.
Yes.
And then he got injured, and then he got pulled out, and
then he lost to Lamas and Poirier.
yeah, man. So I think that it's a good fight for Cruikshank to kind of boost up his name a bit. If he wants to make it real serious, but you got to remember something with Erick. He's training with Duke Rufus, right? So he's training with Anthony Pettis and all these guys that can do amazing kicks as well. So I'm sure that they're gonna have a good game plan in that fight, and he's got some power in his hands that could put some people out. You know, we've seen Cruikshank go down before. I think we can see him go down again. I think it'll be an exciting fight. I think it could be another potential fight of the night. I don't know who I see winning that fight now, but in my opinion, I think we could see Darren Cruikshank win that fight, and then we can hear a lot of people talking about the 155 rise of Erick. You know, it could go a lot of ways for that fight, but it's going to be an exciting fight and a good fight for fans to watch.
Yep. Basically, those two are the only fights I've been planning on, but I have a feeling fights like Filippo and Lakits as well is going to try to be the one to pull the shit out from Matt Brown and Erick Silva and Erick Koch and Cruikshank as well for the performance of the night bonus. Anyways, that's all for this week of MMA. How about you, Suman? Other than Star Wars, anything lining up in Australia next week or this week?
Yeah, this week we've got 3 guys fighting. This weekend they're fighting at New Generation 9. We got Alex Georgie's fighting K1 kickboxing. We got James Jumanji in the gym who's fighting MMA. We've got also Trent Gerdam fighting for the Australian K1 title, 58 kilo K1 title. Let's remember, Trent's 16 years old. He's fighting grown men and beating the crap out of them, Sanchai kicking them and things like that. The kid's only 16. You look at him and you talk to him, he is a child, you know, but he gets in the ring and he becomes a monster, you know. He's looking real good in training, looking awesome in training, and he seems real motivated. This is a kid that, what happened was we had a gym close by, like Sam K has been with our gym now for about a year. He trained at another gym called Temple Dogs before that. And what happened, he's been with us for a year, but Temple Dogs recently closed down. Now, the young guys from Temple Dogs had followed him over at the start of the year because their gym closed down at the end of the year. And what happened was Amy Adam, who'd come over to our gym a few months before that as well, had sent out a message to all the Temple Dog guys saying, hey guys, you know, if you guys want to come over to Australian top team, Suman's more than willing to help you guys out. You know, he really wants to bring the team together, blah, blah, blah. And Trent, she actually wrote this big thing on it and then sent the message to all the fighters that were from that team. And then one kid commented back to this status that I was tagged in, to these inboxes that I was tagged in. It was like a group inbox. And he wrote vulture, you know, trying to say that I was like jumping on like a business opportunity or something.
Oh, come on.
You know, one kid called me a vulture when I didn't actually write anything, and I didn't tell Amy to write anything either. She did because she wanted to keep her training partners and everyone together instead of all separating to a different gym. Now, the kid called me a vulture. I didn't really say anything to him, and then he kind of badmouthed me again, and like it did upset me a bit and did piss me off a bit. But I was like, yeah, whatever. And then I think a couple weeks later when I'd gotten back to Australia and we were fighting, this kid walked into the gym. This kid just had a fucked up attitude. You know, like from the moment he had walked in, he was giving me attitude. I'm like, motherfucker, I own this place. Like, I'm not an arrogant guy, but, you know, don't walk into my gym and give me attitude. And he didn't even train. He just came and sat there and watched. You know, and watched me spar and watched a few other guys spar just to kind of suss it all out. And he just didn't really seem interested in it. A week later, he came back with all his training gear and came to train. And then he still had a bit of a chip on his shoulder. And then within a few days, it just started turning around. And the kid was an all right kickboxer. And the kid's now gone from an all right kickboxer to fucking a kid that I think can do anything. And that kid was Trent.
Okay.
You know, Trent was the one who called me a vulture, and he's, yeah, you know, man, Trent called me a vulture, and he said all this stuff about me. He came in, he was the kid with the attitude. He was the kid that came in, and he had just sloppy technique, and just knew how to brawl, you know, and he's, in the last 5 months of him training, man, he's gone from a kid that didn't listen to a word of what Amy had told me about him was, when Trent comes into your gym, you're going to have some problems. And I'm like, why? And she goes, everyone in our gym wants to punch the fuck out of him. He doesn't listen to a word of what anyone says, just does whatever he wants, doesn't listen if you want to help him out or nothing. He just has attitude and says shit to piss you off. Now, Trent is now one of my favorite people in the gym. You know what I mean? He's turned around, and people are saying to me, man, he's a different person now training in this gym. And it's really, really good to see that, like, people are like, man, what the fuck have you done with this kid? He's brainwashed. You know what I mean? Everyone knows I've got Australian top team in big letters tattooed on my leg, you know? And Trent's 16 years old, and he's like, when am I going to get my tattoo? When am I going to get my Australian top team tattoo? And there's no one that's been more down for the gym than him since he's come over and really lightened up to us, you know? I haven't had a problem with him since the day that he came in here, and he actually says to me all the time, he goes, man, I wasn't training before I came to Australian top team. Turns around, he goes, he was on a losing streak of fights. He lost 3 fights in a row before he'd come up to us against not that great guys. You know, his record was like boxing class. Me and him go at it. It's real good to see a young kid that people thought is just a smart ass and doesn't listen, and even I thought was just a smart ass and I didn't have any time for him. It's good to see him kind of come around and change his attitude and change his style. Now he's starting to eat right. He's running every day. He's hitting the bag without us asking him. He's asking for more pads. He's asking to do extras. And that's really a good sign of a young 16-year-old kid who wants to make it to the top. You know, he always asks me, he goes, do you think that one day I could make it into the UFC? And man, I think this kid could, you know. Him and James Jumanji are probably, man, in my opinion, like, and I'm not just saying this because I'm so close to these kids, but and they're from my gym. These kids could be anything. I think that James could be a future world champion in MMA. You know, I don't doubt that at all. You know, and Trent as well, man. I think that he could be a K1 champion, let alone a fucking MMA champion. You know, I think the kid's on fire. He's on a roll. James is looking to get back into fighting. James is Trent's never fought MMA. James has fought MMA. They're two perfect training partners for each other. You know, they're good friends as well, and it's really, really, really rewarding. Not to see an older guy really blossom me. It's really rewarding to see a kid like James. James came in here into our gym when he was 15 years old. He's been with us now for 2 years, and I think he's got the world in front of him. You know, and it's good to see a difference in attitude with James. Now I'm seeing it again in Trent, and then there's Raymond, another young guy in our gym, man, and the guys that just want to learn, and it's so encouraging to see, and that's the reason why, man, I don't know how many gyms in the world make heaps of money. I'm not a millionaire from owning an Australian top team. I don't make a lot of money, man. We scrape by, but seeing these guys at my gym, like young Alex, the Sloth, you know, seeing especially guys like Trent and James, who was 15, 16 years old. And then we got Raymond as well, you know, who's another young guy. Seeing these young guys they come through is really, really rewarding. And I'm not just saying that to win people over or anything. I really, really enjoy being in these guys' corners, wrapping their hands, hugging them after the fights, slapping them on the ass and saying how they did a good job. It's the most rewarding thing. And, you know, I think that I could see them anywhere in the world. And one day, even if they're not with my gym, I'd want to see these guys fighting in One FC, Rebel FC, the UFC, because I think that these guys could be anything. And not everyone has that potential to make it. You know, some guys really work hard for it, you know, and these kids are working hard, you know, but they're all talented. These guys that I've just named are talented. They could be anything. So a bit of talent mixed with dedication can go a long way. So I really, really am excited to see how Trent does this weekend, fighting for his first title, fighting for the Australian title. Not just the state title, fighting for the Australian title at the age of 16 against a hard knockout opponent. You know, he's knocked a lot of guys out, and he's knocked guys out with body shot, like dropped people with body shots. And Trent's a young kid, fearless going in there. We've got Trent fighting, we've got Alex fighting, we've got James fighting. James will fight anyone in MMA at the weight. Anyone. The kid's fearless. He's fought at 72 kilos when he's a 57 kilo flyweight fighter. You know, he's fought at 72 kilos. That's no joke for a little 57 kilo fighter to do. And he's gone in there and dominated his guys. You know, he's looking for a step up in opponents, and whoever he said he will fight anyone. You know, and I think he in MMA is the shit right now. You know, for me, I think that when he turns by the time he turns 18, he's already at a professional level for me. You know, the things that he does in the gym are fucking amazing. So I think he's already professional level. So yeah, I'll just end it there. I've got 3 guys fighting this weekend. Super excited for all of them. Alex fighting K1 at 80 kilos. James is fighting at 60 kilos MMA. And we got Trent fighting at 58 kilos. K1 Australian title. 3 big fights for 3 guys that are working hard for my gym. And putting the time in, you know. I really want to see the best from them and all my guys at Australian top team. And Australian MMA, Australian Jiu Jitsu, Australian kickboxing, everything in general. I want us to rise onto a world level. And I think the only way for us to rise on that world level is have the best guys around and fight as much as possible and get that experience so we can fucking do it.
Yeah, man. The point I want to make about this is that if you look at individualistic level for these young guys, yes, they want to be the top. They want to be a champion one day, whether it's Australian, Singaporean, or Malaysian, and that is individualistic level. Then we talk about the gym levels, how you or even Impact MMA owner Kwang and even Melvin Yo, Ultimate MMA in Johor, always so excited talk about their young guns, and that's looking at the gym level, looking at the nationalistic level. These are the young prospects coming up, becoming the next big thing in MMA. But looking at the world level, these are the future of the sport.
That's right. That's right. I can tell you, man. You're gonna see some fucking young kids from Australian top team on that world level. Remember especially these two names in an MMA scene. Remember these names: James Najim and Trent Girdham. These kids will make it onto a world level, man. I just got signed to Rebel FC as a pro and an amateur. You know, I've signed a contract with them. And people are like, man, I'm 21 years old. I've got the world ahead of me and that and this. Man, I'm not the future. I'm not nothing. I really think I could do anything. But at the same time, I think where these kids are going at their age of 16, 17, I could only dream about. These guys are going to make it to the top, and they could be anything. Myself aside, you know, I can't even hold a feather to these guys. These kids are amazing. You know, they keep me on my toes every day, and like the pool of talent we've got at Australian top team, from kids to adults, is amazing. You know, but I just love talking about these kids more than anything because they got the world ahead of them and they're so hungry and they're fearless. You know, and it's gonna be good to see them, and it's gonna be good to one day say that, hey man, fucking I helped this kid get to the top, you know, because let's face the reality of it. When guys go to the UFC, when guys go to even One FC or these guys, they change gyms.
Yep.
A lot of times. Now, my gym, I've tried to make a one-stop shop. We got the wrestling. We got great wrestling at this gym. We got a Dutch kickboxing champion, you know, who's an outstanding fucking coach, and who all these kids are actually crediting for that change in their style. Like Trent saying he's never trained with someone. He's trained with a lot of guys. Trent's trained since he was like 12 years old. And he said that he's never trained with someone that breaks it down and wants him to succeed as much as Yup does. You know, and then we've got our Jiu Jitsu instructor, all these guys. I've tried to make it like this. But man, the reality of it is that a lot of these guys that go to UFC and things like that end up going to America to train, going to Thailand to train, and things like that. It's nothing to do with our level. It's just that they want to train with different guys. So I wouldn't be surprised one day, like these guys. I've put a lot of time and money in, you know, and I've tried to help out a lot. You know, I would be very upset if they went over to anywhere else. And me and James have matching tattoos on our leg for the Australian top team, right?
Yep.
And all these other kids want to do the same, and they want to be originals with us as well. You know, it would be greatly upsetting to see them go to another gym, but I wouldn't ever be surprised by it. You know what I mean? Like anything could happen, and I'd love to just know that one day I contributed to their success. You know, I love hearing from the kids how much they're happy that I put the time in and things like that. I do their strength and conditioning for them. I organize all their fights, and I corner all the guys. You know, I'm the corner guy, and I'm the cut guy. I'm the rapper. I do everything for these guys. You know, and I enjoy doing that for them. So it's good to kind of get that back from the kids and just saying how much it means to them.
All right. Yeah, we're still live. If you see your Facebook, Frank is late to the party.
Yeah, no, I'm reading the conversation now.
All right. I think I'm gonna stop the show now since Frank asking us if we are still live. I'll see you next week with Matt Brown, Erick Silva, and hopefully more news from the Australian scene. Thank you all for coming on the show. Thank you, Suman. Thank you, Frank.
Thank you very much.
And Suman, I want to talk with you a little bit offline.
All right, thanks, man.
All right.
Bye.